Hereby call this meeting to order. Good morning. My name is Kevin Wagner, and I will be the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate for today's hearing. I want to begin by explaining how this process will work. I will hear the building code cases on the agenda first, then the city will call the cases in the order in which they appear on the agenda. If you have appeared at today's hearing and signed in, your case will be called before those where no one else has appeared. Once your case is called, I ask that you come down to the podium on my right-hand side, which is right over here. The city will put on its testimony and evidence first. Then you will have an opportunity to review that evidence and ask any questions of the city's witnesses. You will also have the opportunity to testify and to present me with your own evidence. Once I have all the evidence and testimony, I will make a ruling. I will also enter a written order either today at the hearing, which is typically how we do it, or in the next few days if it's more complex, which you will receive a copy of. If you have any questions as we go through the process, please feel free to ask them. Also, please turn off all of your cell phones or other electronic devices so that they will not interfere with the process and proceedings. This is not a formal courtroom. The formal rules of evidence do not apply here. Although this is not a formal courtroom, all testimony today is given under oath. So if you're going to testify, or you think you're going to testify, or there's a possibility that you might testify, would you please rise and raise your right hand? You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Florida. Yes, sir. Please be seated. The city can call their first case.
First case number 1521 Ardmore Road, CE 19010114. Number 1521 Ardmore Road.
Good morning. My name is Tim Large. I'm the Chief Plumbing Inspector for the City of West Palm Beach. This property was originally cited on January 8th of 2019 for exterior alterations, installing windows, and also interior plumbing work. The owners have applied and received their building permit. The only thing that remains outstanding on this is the plumbing permit. Everything is approved. It just needs to be picked up. We did have proper service on this on April 1st. So like I said, the only thing that's outstanding is they just need to pick up the plumbing permit, and the city's requesting that they get this permit issued within 14 days or face a $25 a day fine.
How much service you got?
Certified mail, return receipt.
All right, and all they have left to do is to pick up the permit?
That's it. And then get the proper inspections as per the Florida Building Code.
Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? All right, in case CE 190101114, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation. I guess technically they're in violation of all of these still, right?
Pardon me?
All of the sections are still at issue because they haven't picked
Yes.
up the permit? Yeah. 105.1, 109, and 110.1. Respondent has 14 days to come into compliance or fine the amount of $25 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Number 2831 Bunker Road, CE 181200056. Number 2831 Bunker Road.
Morning. Chris Montello with the City of West Palm Beach. 831 Bunker Road was initially cited on October 20th, 2018 for putting fencing up without a permit. It was sent registered mail on the 1st of April, and a notice of hearing was posted on the 30th, and they did not comply as of this morning with anything. Haven't even applied for a permit yet.
So they put up a fence. They did not get a permit. You noticed it by posting on April 1st?
No, we initially wrote them a stop work order on October 20th, 2018. Then they received the certified mail on April 1st. We also, on March 30th, posted a notice of hearing.
You had any contact with them?
Not as of yet, no.
What remedy is the city seeking?
30 days, $50 a day.
Is there anyone here on behalf of the respondent? Carl Foltz? All right, in case CE 181200056, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 105.1, 110.1, and 110.3. Respondent has 30 days to bring the property into compliance or fine of $50 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Number 3, 500 Churchill Road, CE 190200092. Number 3, 500 Churchill Road.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach, Chief Plumbing Inspector Tim Large. This property was initially cited on January 17th of this year for interior and exterior alterations being done without permits. I have been in contact with the company that owns the structure. There's someone, a representative, was supposed to be here today. But anyway, we've had no activity on this.
We might have one.
Pardon me?
Are you the representative that was supposed to be here today? Come on up. I assume since you came late, you were not sworn in. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury on the laws of the state of Florida?
I do.
I'm going to allow the city to present their case first, and then you can respond, okay?
In proceeding, this property was initially cited on January 17th of 2019. To date, there's no record of any permit applications being submitted for the work that it was initially cited for. The city is requesting that all permits be applied for and issued within 30 days or face a $50 a day fine.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Jessica Stein?
Jessica
Stein,
Stein.
yes.
Okay. Ms. Stein, go ahead. The floor is yours.
We actually acquired these properties, and we acquired them with the liens and permits. It was part of a bulk purchase. We were going through the phases actually we just started managing them, so we're
When
working-
you say we, are you referring?
company.
Okay, so the Jeff One LLC?
Yes.
And what is your position with them?
I'm the area manager for them down in Miami. The main company is based in Austin, so we have different management companies throughout the country. So we just purchased a bulk of properties for that
So
company.
you're the area manager for this company?
Correct.
And you have permission to speak on their behalf?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
We acquired these properties. We just started managing them in Miami. We just opened our branch, so we took over. We're now working on the construction and permitting of all of them. So we just found out that we actually had violations on this property. We're working on getting the permits, and we should have no problem applying for them.
Are you agreeable to the 30 days?
To apply for them, we would like a little bit more time, but if it's 30 days,
I can go 45 days
That's
because this has been going on since January and there's been, no forward progress. And the property appraiser's office shows that Jeff One LLC took possession of this property in December of 2017. So I think we're at a time
right, there was a
where
transfer of ownership. We didn't have a management company down here, so.
we're at a time where, we need to see some forward progress and some good faith shown to the point of at least application being made, and within 45 days.
45 days sounds more than reasonable to me.
I agree, thank you.
All right, in case CE 190200092, I make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice sufficient to find property in violation of 105.1, 109.4, and FBC 107.1, respondent has 45 days to bring the property into compliance or fine the amount of $50 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Next case, number 10, 3421 Pinewood Ave, CE 1901047. Number 10, 3421 Pinewood Ave.
Go ahead.
Good morning. This property is back today for a roofing permit violation, which previously, under the current owner at the time, 786 Ashfat Koshar Incorporated, a judgment was rendered 30 days. At the end of 30 days, a $100 a day penalty began, And I do believe that it is now running under that $100 a day. In the interim, the property changed ownership, and now we have another representative from the new owner that is here today because this case came back up for another roofing violation, which already was gone through the special magistrate, so it's kind of,
So let me see if I understand this correctly. This property was cited for a roofing violation. It went to the magistrate hearing. It was given an opportunity to correct, and I'm fine if they did not correct. Subsequent to that, they didn't correct on time, so there was a running fine, and it was cited for a second but different roofing issue for this case?
no, it was another, the property had a lot of violations, but was the owner, the current owner, denied access to the city to go in and see exactly what permits they were going to be required. And that was part of the order also, in the 30-day order was to give access, but somehow or another, the owner at that time, Ashfac Koshar Incorporated, sold the property to another owner, and now they've assumed everything that was in place when the other corporation owned the property.
So what are we here for now?
The roofing again.
Is this a different roofing issue?
No, it's the same roofing issue.
Did the first roofing issue come into compliance?
No.
So why were they cited for the same thing twice?
A different inspector went by there because neighbors, I think it came in under another action call to the mayor's hotline, and another inspector went by and cited it when I had cited it previous, and then he went and cited it. It's been an ongoing problem because we were getting complaints from the neighbors about the workers on the nights and the weekends, and so many different
Here's
inspectors.
the difficulty, right? Because if it's the same problem that they were originally cited for, there's been a hearing and there's been a remedy, which is a fine. I don't know how I would go back and revisit that. I mean, I suppose you could, if the city wanted to, they could notice and seek a different remedy. In other words, you could ask for a change in the remedy, but I can't really cite it for the same violation twice. That would be, I mean, unless the city has a
Yeah,
different
that's,
view on it.
this is a peculiar one.
I'll yield the floor to the city attorney if you have a different interpretation of that. But if they're currently under a fine for this code section for this particular issue, I don't know how I can bring it up again.
Neither do I. Will you hear from the new owner now has acquired a general contractor, and he is aware now, after I explained to him what was going on with the property, that he's going to have to come in compliance with this issue along with other issues, because we still, I haven't been granted access to go in and look at the electrical, which is where the original only thing that was permitted. This all came to light. And now he's aware of the fact he's going to have to clean up, all the violations. And I think,
Well, let's sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Chris Weiss. I'm the Executive Project Director for Legacy Brothers. Monica Phillips, which is the current owner, asked me to represent her here today.
So what's going on here?
Monica Phillips assumed the property from the previous owner.
Ashfac Kashir Inc.?
I believe so, sir. Yes, back in February, she asked me to pull a stucco permit for her, which we did, and then completed the work. There was an open electrical permit for the property. I went to call the inspection, and Mr. Richard Brunel stated that a roofing permit would be required prior to calling that inspection because of suspected illegal roof work. Nor myself or the previous owner, we have no idea what work was done prior to her assuming the property. We just knew that it came with a list of infractions that needed to be procured. So I told her that I would take care of all the infractions against the property by pulling the proper permits and clearing everything.
Why isn't the property owner giving access to the city to inspect the problems?
We did. In fact, an inspector named Frank, I don't know his last name, actually went inside of the unit. I gave him access to the unit. He walked around, he wrote up a list of infractions, which I have an electrical contractor taking care of, or estimating as we speak to have taken care of to pull permit on.
Doesn't seem like there's so much for me to do here at this point.
Probably not, but one of the reasons to have access to the property on the inside was the city suspected a total interior renovation going on there, nights and weekends. And this is one of the problems when you have one inspector involved in the property and then all of a sudden the inspection gets delegated to another electrical inspector who's going there to only look at the electrical. He doesn't look at the whole picture. Like if I would have been there, I knew about it only because I was involved in it, and this is where we're at.
Well, I mean, if the previous order, which I don't have in front of me, but if the previous order granted the city access to inspections and they're denying it, then you can certainly bring that back here for a remedy, but that's not what you brought here today.
Right.
The issue of the previous roof, that also can be brought here for authorization to lien. It also can be brought here for authorization to foreclose. It can also be brought here for a request for reduction, but that's not in front of me either, so I don't really see anything here for me to do.
Sir,
Yeah.
we did pull a roof permit for repair. I didn't know that we were required to pull a complete re-roof permit. So we did pull a permit for
You
the roof.
applied. You applied for a permit and were denied.
I believe that it's active right now.
No. I looked this morning, it's applied.
Understood.
Well, it seems like you have a lot of things to resolve on the property, and it seems like the city has a lot of input here. I mean, is there something particular here that the city is seeking from me here?
No, that we just, don't open another case on the roof because the roofing thing is already under $100 a day. I don't know how this it shouldn't have happened, obviously, but,
There's a fine,
Can
there's
I
a
ask-
fine running for $250 a day currently on the roof and interior remodel, so.
right.
Excuse me,
Can I,
Mr.
could,
Yep, let me let the city
could
attorney
I
in
ask
here.
him a question, or
Hold on
could
one
you
sec.
ask
Let
him a
me
question?
let the city attorney in here for a second.
What I think that the city probably needs to do is let the case stand as it is. There is a fine running. The remedy is for them to come into compliance, and then they can go for a lien reduction, and they can indicate during their lien reduction hearing all the things that they've done to mitigate and work with the city, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I don't see any basis to otherwise change the pre-existing order or vacate the pre-existing order or to change that remedy that's already come down.
Yeah, that's sort of my view of it as well, but, I mean, is something you wanted to add, sir?
No, sir, I just need to know what I need to do to clear all of the infractions.
Well, I think that would require a meeting between you and the inspector here, and he could go through the nature of the violation. At this point, I don't know which magistrate did the order, but there's a standing order on the property with a fine, and the next step here is for your property to come into compliance. Otherwise, there's really not much for me to do at this point. All right, thank you both.
Thank you.
Next case number 11-510 North Sapadilla Avenue, CE 19010164, number 11-510 North Sapadilla Avenue.
Is there anyone here on behalf of the respondent?
No.
Okay. Go ahead.
Peter Valenti with the City of West Palm Construction Services. So December 21st, 2018, the owner was cited for putting in a fence without a permit. April 1st, certified mail was sent, signed for. And to date, no action's been taken. What the stop work order citation he was issued is not just for the permit, but also for the need to get all the inspections to close out the permit. So it's kind of like a two-step system, Section 105.1 of the Florida Building Code, for not getting the permit, and 110.3 for the inspections. But in this case, it's a fence, so they kind of go together. It's not like a big time
Well, the
separation.
fence is already up, right?
Yes,
So they have to apply for it and then get an inspector out there to look at it, right?
right.
What remedy is the city seeking?
We're looking for them to obtain the permit, get the inspections within 30 days, or go to the $100 a day fee.
And in your opinion, it's reasonable to get those things accomplished in 30 days?
Absolutely.
Service was by posting and certified mail.
I'm sorry?
The service was by posting and certified mail?
Yes.
All right, in case CE 190106164, I make the following findings of fact and live phone notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 105.1 and FBC 110.3. Respondent has 30 days to bring the property in compliance or fine of $100 per day. Motion.
Thank you.
It's case number 22-4295 45th Street, CE 18120-226, number 22-4295 45th Street.
Morning again. This particular case was for the Walmart, no, the Sam's Club on 45th Street. And what they've done is they have removed all of their manned cash register stations, and they have installed new self-checkouts, which requires electrical and data cabling support and new systems to run these self-checkouts. Where the old ones were underground, the new ones came overhead and dropped down to the self-checkouts. This particular case, back in 12 of 17, they started the permit process, but they let it expire. They just dropped the ball. And I'd like to give this to you. So today, and I've been in contact with the agent for the Walmart stores, and they keep saying that they're going to take care of this, but nothing's happened. So the city would ask 30 days to get permits issued and inspections completed, or go under a $100 a day penalty.
Can you show that to the city attorney first, please? You have to show it to the city attorney first. So what am I looking at?
The highlighted line is where in 12 of 17, they started the permit processing, and then they just dropped the ball and let it expire.
Oh, so this is a printout of the city
Correct.
permit applications?
Correct.
Okay. And how was notice done in this case?
Pardon me?
How was notice accomplished?
I hand-delivered a notice of violation, and I do believe it was also done by certified mail.
Is anyone here on behalf of the owner, Sam's East Inc.? All right, in case CE 18120, oh, do you want me to admit this into evidence?
You need it? It's in the computer.
We don't have an objection to admitting.
All right, I'm going to admit into evidence this printout of the City of West Palm Beach permits, including the highlighted portion that shows an expired permit for Sam East Inc. for the removal of some manned cash registers. That'll have to go in the file. All right, in case CE 181202226, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 105.1 and FBC 110.3. Respondent has 30 days to bring the property into compliance by obtaining the proper permits and inspections or fine the amount of $100 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Number 23, 1550 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, CE 190200341. Number 23, 1550 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard.
You're back.
Back again. This case, excuse me, that was 1550 Palm Beach Lakes, correct?
Yeah, Home Depot.
This is actually the same violation, except it's Home Depot Corporation in this case. They have also decided to take out their manned cash register stations and put in the self-checkouts. And a violation was issued, and no progress has been made. I've been by there since. Originally, the self-checkout started in the garden area, and I had been back since to check up on that, and they went ahead and moved forward doing the in-store checkout units also, and I talked to the store manager, and he said that he's passed it upstairs, and there's nothing he can do about it until corporate gets involved, and nothing has happened, and it's been probably 90 days already. So I would ask again that the city ask for 30 days to comply with issue of permits and inspections, or a $100 a day penalty.
So in this case, they didn't actually even, there's no expired permit. They didn't apply for a permit at all?
No, they've done nothing.
Did they continue to work after the stop work order?
I think so.
And service by?
In a different area. I wrote the original violation specifically for the garden department because that's the only work that had occurred. Then when I was back, they had moved forward and done the general store area also. And I brought it to the manager's attention and told him that now he also needs permits for, he says he's aware of it, corporate's aware of it, but apparently for some reason, they haven't acted on it.
Service was accomplished by hand delivery and also by certified mail?
Correct.
All right, CE 19, well, for the record, is anyone here from Home Depot USA, Inc.? All right, in case CE 190200341, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 105.1 and FBC 110.3. Respondent has 30 days to bring the property into compliance by obtaining the proper permits and inspections or fine the amount of $100 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Case number 4225 Monroe Drive, CE 190200046. Number 4225 Monroe Drive.
Good morning, John Frosco, West Palm Beach Code. Property was declared a chronic nuisance on February 5th of 2019. Property was posted, certified mail was sent out. I received some communication after the notice of hearing was posted for the first time. I saw that work was done, so I asked to postpone that case. Then time went by, and I did receive an action plan, but it was insufficient to curtail the nuisance activity, so a second notice went out. There was work done, not enough, and not enough sufficient to, curtail the code violations. So Again, notice was sent out, was posted. We're here again today. And to date, even though the owner has done some work in cleaning up, it's still not completely complied today. And so we're here today to ask for a service order, so that if the property does come out of compliance, that the city would be able to abate those issues. If the owner keeps the property compliant within a year's time with no incident, then it would go away. Then we would close the case. So that's what we're asking for.
Sir, can you tell me your name?
Yes, my name is Jesse Henson. I'm the personal representative for the estate of James A. Bowen,
So tell me what's going on.
my stepfather. The property was out of compliance. The yard got grown up. I had a neighbor who was cutting the yard, but obviously not doing a very good job. I don't live in the area. I live in Naples. And I was trying to locate a contractor, a landscape contractor, to be able to take care of the yard. After Mr. Frasca issued the second code violation, about concurrently at that time, I found someone to do it. He has since gone in and has done a lot of work on the yard. I think other than just some grassy area right now, I think the property probably is in compliance. It's cut. All the boundaries have been cleared. The excessive hedges and flora and everything down the property lines are gone. There was a tree out front that had to be cut. That's been taken care of. There was also some trash that was left by some of the neighbors, and that's all been taken away. As I said, I have someone in place now to be able to take care of that work, and I just want to continue that.
What's still out of compliance?
The vegetative debris that's still there, and there's some construction debris throughout the property. Plywood, a gutter. Magistrate, in that, two things that we're in violation of: that he didn't give me an action plan that was sufficient when the notice was sent out when I made the declaration. When I sent out the notice of hearing, then he started working on the property, subsequently receiving an action plan that became insufficient because it was not implemented properly. So the second notice of hearing went out. So I didn't get a notice, I didn't get the action plan within the 15 days that were required. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I saw that he was doing some work to the property, hoping that I could get that action plan. So I postponed the first hearing in order to get that sufficient action plan. And then here we are today. More work was done after the second notice was sent out.
As I said, it wasn't I was trying to do it after it was sent out. I'm working long distance in getting someone to perform what they say they're going to perform. I understand what he's saying.
Atypical of a typical nuisance case. I mean, this strikes me more as a case where you should just be given an opportunity to comply and a fine. I mean, you have an owner here. It's pretty clear from the pictures that they made pretty good progress. I mean, why shouldn't I just treat this like I would a normal case?
In that, this costs the city money to keep revisiting a property. The whole principle of this is that you've expended, that property owners expended city time and energies, and it's just to pay back the city for the time it spends, rather than the city keep revisiting and revisiting. And magistrate, the amount is charged. If he keeps the property, if the owner keeps the property complied, then the amount that's charged is minimal. I think it's for point, we do what, 15 minutes?
That's all true, but typically if there's an owner and they're making efforts to comply, we don't typically treat it as a nuisance. At least we haven't historically while I've been here.
These are based on non-compliant magistrates' orders in the past. These are a foundation for that. And we're talking about $7, I think, and change, maximum $8 for my time for the 15 minutes to pay the city back. And there are a lot of administrative things that come into play. I did give the owner the benefit of the doubt and the opportunity. And I extended that requirement of that ordinance past the time that's required, trying to work with the owner of the property. I don't see what I could do further than that. And
He did. I mean, I will agree with that. Yes, he did. We actually had a conversation about that. I explained to him that I was trying to get, my neighbor actually referred me to her landscape contractor. And it took me probably almost 2 weeks to get in touch with this man. So we're continuing on that path.
Well, it just seems to me the natural remedy here is a 10 or 15-day compliance with a fine, and then if he violates again, it's up for repeat violation, which is a more severe penalty than you'd get under the nuisance.
I wish, Magistrate, that we could change the order or have that where we could believe that people do this, but for the amount of time that I've done this and know that chronic nuisance does work and it does
Yeah,
give
but
the property
ideally, you want the property owner to fix the property, not the city, right? I mean, ideally, that's the result we want, right?
So that the worst, if you enter the order, Magistrate, the worst possible scenario would be for the owner, if he is compliant, is that minimal charge.
Yeah, I just, so somebody tell me what, as of today, what hasn't been done? Is it just the debris?
There's some paved areas where grass has grown over. I'm working with my contractor to get that removed. And any other trash that's in the yard will be taken, I mean, if there is any. I have not been by the property. I came from Naples this morning and got hung up in traffic. I walked in here right at 9 o'clock. So when I leave here, I'm going to the property to check and see if there is any trash in the yard, and we'll get it remedied.
May I ask a question? Do you have active water on that house? Is
No.
there active, pardon?
No.
Okay. Could we scroll back where it shows the front of the property? Okay. No, in the front, with the pile in front of it. You had it. That one. Is that your debris or is that the neighbor's debris?
No, that's not my debris.
Okay.
The person who's doing the work on my yard has been instructed, do not put debris in front of my house. He
Okay.
knows that. No, that is not my debris.
Okay. Thank you.
On the previous picture there where you saw the paved area and the grass growing over, that's the area that I'm talking about, that he will be working on that to get that cleaned up.
All right, is there anything further from either side? Does the city believe that the lack of running water supports the issuance of a chronic nuisance?
No, sir. The water bill, the sanitation is billed through the water bill. If they don't have the water bill, they don't have sanitation services for pickup. That's why I asked the question.
All right, I'm going to take a closer look at the chronic nuisance statute and make sure that it applies in this case. I'm going to issue this one in writing a little bit later. So I'm not going to issue a ruling right here. I gotta look at this a little bit closer. But you'll get the order in writing. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Next case number 580 Executive Center Drive, number 501, CE 190104443. Number 580 Executive Center Drive, number 501.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement. I cited this property, 580 Executive Center Drive, 501, under 18103C. I cited this property on January 25th, posted the property April 18th, and certified mails mailed out April 18th of this year. Now, the tenants is here with me today, Magistrate. To give you this side of the story, we got the owner and the management company here as well. There was a company come out to this property to try to rectify the unsanitary conditions due to mold, but according to the tenants, it was very unsatisfactory to them. So that's why they're here, to give you their side of issues that they're having health-wise, according to the tenants.
Excuse me, before we go further, there's a lot of people up there. I'm not sure if everyone was sworn in. I just wanted to make sure.
No.
Were you sworn in?
Yeah, I'm the attorney for the property, for the owner and the manager.
That's your client?
That's my client,
Is
yes.
she sworn in?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell me your name, please?
Christine Sawyers. I believe the tenants did arrive after the swearing in as well.
Okay.
She's sworn, I did.
Okay.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Florida?
Yes, sir.
All right.
He'll tell you, he'll wait for him to give you direction.
So this is an apartment,
Yes.
and the city's allegation is that there is mold on the interior walls and floors?
According to the tenants, yes. I was there, I did an inspection, but now it's been, Service Port was out there and to rectify that situation. And as of today, I can't tell because it's been,
When's the last time you were on the property?
this last week to do the posting.
And when's the last time that you were able to see the issue that you have cited?
Back in January.
And is that because you haven't been granted access to the apartment?
No, because since that time, Service Pro was out there and the walls have been resealed up, so I couldn't tell and do an inspection of the interior of the walls.
So what is the issue that the city is, do you think it shouldn't have been sealed out, or there should have been, what did they do wrong, at least from the city's point of view?
From the city's point of view, the interior of the walls has evidence of mold and rotten wood, and as of today, I couldn't tell to look into the walls area after the Service Pro was in there and sealed the walls back up.
So the city believes that they should have done something about, should have had an inspection, or, I'm trying to understand what the code violation here is.
The evidence of the mold, we can't tell in the wall structure because it's been sealed back up. Only thing we have is the previous pictures back in January. So no current pictures of the inside of the walls.
All right, Ms. Sawyer,
Sure.
what's going on here?
Serpro, a certified mold remediation service, came out and took care of the issue. They did HVAC duct, or they did, a separate company did HVAC duct cleaning. This was all completed by March 28th. The only thing we need is the inspection of the premises by the inspector. As I understand it, the violation is repair interior walls, floors, and/or ceilings, which is what they did. And they just need to have the inspection to confirm that they're in compliance. I have the completed paperwork from Serpro. I have the initial inspection, the mold testing that they followed the proper remediation process. I'm not quite sure what he means by he can't inspect the interior walls, but more than welcome. He just needs to request access to the manager or through the tenants, and the inspection can be completed.
Okay, do you want to submit those documents in evidence?
Sure.
Can you bring them to the city attorney first, please?
This is the initial mold inspection. And this is the initial testing. Both of these are from January. Also have a
Yeah, he's coming, that's okay.
basically
You get your-
explaining what was completed.
So, testing that occurs after everything is done to confirm that it's gone?
That's what Serpro does, is they complete everything as far as air sampling. That's part of, in the initial mold analysis, tumor samples determined that there were not elevated conditions of mold, so it did not require the additional sampling. If required, we just need to know.
Right.
We just follow the
Okay.
remediation recommendations.
Okay. I have, I have no objection to submitting. If Mr. Williams wants to
No,
take a quick
go
look at that?
Thank you. Well, the city clearly wants the tenants to say something, so why don't you?
Okay, so I just want to give like a really quick background of what's been
State
going on.
your name before you speak, please.
Sorry, Lisa Lewis.
You're the
So-
tenant in this apartment?
Correct, along with my mother.
Are you both on the lease, or is it just you?
Correct.
Okay.
We are both on the lease.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so in September of last year, when we had Hurricane Harvey come through, there was a leak in the roof. In the beginning of December, my mother started to itch. We, at the time, didn't know what it was. At the end of December, I had to rush her to the ER because her face had swollen. Her ears had swollen. I also have pictures of her face that was swollen. When we went to the ER, they explained to us that it had to be something that was in the apartment, mold or such. And my mother has a record of being allergic to mold from our last property that we lived at. Fast forward, she went to the ER an additional 3 times for this issue with her allergic reaction. And another 2 times to the dermatologist. The reason why I'm saying this is because why we're here is the fact that Servpro did come. They have replaced the floors. I'm giving you credit for what you're doing. You've done the floors. They have come in, demolished, which is the pictures there. The pictures of the van is Servpro after the so-called completion. This is for that. Those pictures of the van are for another apartment. When I had already requested them to come back and to finish what they started, they did do all of that. But what they didn't do was scrub the air in the rest of the apartment. My mother is still suffering with high blood pressure that caused a TIA on March 20th. That I had to rush her to the emergency room because she could not remember anything for the last 6 months. So this is very serious. My mother has been having a lot of medical issues due to this, and all we asked them, they said that there was not enough, the apartment wasn't so bad that they needed to do the rest of the apartment as far as scrubbing the air. Now, as far as my experience with mold remediation, it takes days, sometimes a week. They were only there for 24 hours. They put HEPA, the ventilation system, only in the bathroom. They did not, they stated in their statement that they put it outside the containment as well, and they did not. I was there. I made sure that we stayed there the entire time that all of this was being done so that we could witness what was done and what wasn't. Everything was done, but they did not finish the job as far as that because my mother is still suffering. She's still itching. She's still having the issue. So regardless if they think that it wasn't enough, they need to finish what they started, which was, okay, scrubbing the inside of the air of the bathroom. But the violation that he's noted was in my mother's room. They never came in there. They never scrubbed the air in there. They never made sure that the rest of the apartment was free from mold because mold spores spread, as we all know. So you doing it in the bathroom has nothing to do with the rest of the air in the apartment. So yes, they did do that. They put the HEPA in the bathroom only. They did not put, and I requested this weeks on end, and during those weeks, I kept seeing Servpro, but they never came to my apartment to finish. And I sent emails upon emails upon emails. Can you please come and finish the job because my mother is still suffering? Can you please come finish the job? And winded up having a TIA in the process. because you won't even try to finish what you started. Now, if you finish what you started and she's still feeling this way, then we have to come up with a different solution. Maybe we need to move, I don't know. But there's other residents that are having mold issues as well. That's why ServPro was there. They were there for another apartment on the 3rd floor in our building. There's other people with mold issues
We gotta
because this
stay
leak.
on the one, because that's not before me.
Okay, but I just, my issue is, we're asking them to come and finish what they started. That's what we're asking them to come and scrub the rest of the air of the apartment.
Code enforcement is good for a lot of things. It's not good for everything, right? And so there's a broader question. For me, the question is, the city presents a code section that they believe is in violation. The respondent gets to respond whether or not they're in violation of that particular code section. The section they brought before me has to do with interior walls and floors.
Correct.
It doesn't have to do with air quality, though I'm
Okay.
not sure that there is a section that really works terribly well for that particular issue.
Gotcha.
But the only question for me, you may well have civil litigation between you and your landowner.
Correct.
I don't know, and it would be improper for me to comment on that.
Mm-hmm.
But the scope of the dispute that you have with them is probably beyond the authority of a special magistrate and code enforcement to deal with. The only question before me is whether or not there is a violation of 18103C, which has to do with interior floors and walls.
Correct.
And if there is, whether I can get them to remedy that particular situation.
In the pictures, there is like, if you keep going, there's a picture with the wood above, and it's still, I'm sorry, so sorry. There's pictures with the wood right there. That was never replaced. All of that, they never went completely up in the attic to take out all of the wood. That wood was left there, and as you can see, that's mold, and you can see that it was left there. There's probably another 2 feet of wood that is probably rotten, and they left that there. That's why I took a picture, and they sealed it up. They did. They sealed that up. That's probably still there. If they go up there again, it's sealed up, because they didn't go all the way up and really take out all of the damaged wood because we're on the 5th floor, so we're right above right there at ground level of the attic and everything. So if they seal that up, then there's probably, I don't know what else is up there that hasn't been removed in the walls. They never took down the walls. They only took down the roof.
Sir,
So I
this-
have no idea.
That's exactly, the roofers were out there, and the roofers would be the ones who handled that, and they did do roofing repairs as well, like she said.
Before.
associated With the
One
storm,
person at a time.
Sorry.
associated with the leak that came after the storm, so.
Are you representing to me that this was repaired?
This is all prior to the repairs were made.
Absolutely
Everything-
not.
Okay, one person at a time. I gave you a lot of time to talk. No, I gotta give them a chance to talk too, right? Okay? All right, go ahead.
These pictures are prior to the repairs being made by ServPro. Everything was completed as required and recommended for mold remediation.
So this that I'm looking at, this wood was pulled out and replaced, or do you know?
I believe that was, any work was performed by roofers. ServPro would not do roofing structure repairs,
So roofers fixed this, or whatever was wrong here.
as I understand. Yeah, we're a little unclear as to, we know that there was work going on at the same time for 2 different areas. ServPro handled all of the mold remediation, and the roofing company handled the roof repairs.
What remedy is the city seeking here?
May I jump in
sorry?
for a moment?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Based on the 18103C and what was found in violation, evidence of mold in property, for the respondent, is there something you can point to in the reports that were submitted that shows the mold itself is gone, it's been remediated? Or do you still have to get a final test or a final something to show that?
So the initial mold report that was submitted into evidence basically went through various testings, including air quality testing. The air quality testing revealed a very low count of mold, and according to that report, it was unnecessary to do any type of additional testing based on that because there was such a low count. They did find a soft spot in the bathroom ceiling where obviously there had been a previous leak, and that is the repair they went through. When they cut through that, they saw a small amount evidence of mold. The whole time that this work was being performed, the ceiling was being cut out. They did have the HEPA scrubbing, the filters, a containment area, and they also, as a precaution, they did the HVAC duct cleaning. This was through a different company, I believe, not through ServPro. And everything, there's no indication that the air quality was elevated prior to the time the work was done. Therefore, there is no reason to suspect that it would be an issue now. Now, if it will make everybody happy, my client can do air quality testing just to confirm that. However, it was even the reports in the initial remediation report and that provided by ServPro says it's unnecessary.
Hold on.
Thank you.
1 second. Can I say something?
Hold on one second. What remedy is the city seeking here? I mean, what are you asking me to do?
I guess I would like to look at the walls, interior walls, and see was it removed or is it repaired? Because I don't have no idea.
So you just want me to order them to allow you access to the apartment to inspect?
Well, I have access through the tenant, but I'm not going to be able to open up the walls personally.
I don't understand why we're supposed to repair walls and then reopen them up again to repair them again.
Because the roof repair was done before ServPro came. I have the proof. The pictures were taken on March 12th. You guys came the week before to do the roofing. So this was not done by roofing. So I would really like them to go up and go look and see if that is still there. Yes.
The order of the city is to repair the interior walls, floors, and ceilings. My client did that in compliance with this order. Now we're going to go through and tear it up again? I don't understand why my client would have to go through the additional expense.
Because that's still there.
This issue as to air quality and all this other stuff is more of a landlord-tenant issue rather than a repair interior walls, floors, and ceilings.
Yep. Let me go to the city attorney. Yeah.
You know, 103C says, quote, "Every interior partition, wall, floor, and ceiling shall be reasonably tight, capable of affording privacy, and maintained in a workmanlike state of repair and in a clean and sanitary condition." My understanding of the testimony is that it has been repaired physically. If I'm allowed to put forth, I don't know if Mr. Williams can go back in if he has to. I don't necessarily think that we can reopen those walls. Okay, I do understand the testimony. Yes, ma'am, I know your mom wants to speak, and you will get an opportunity in just a moment, ma'am. Magistrate mentioned that perhaps there may be a different code section for air quality. That may be something that everybody wants to talk about, but under the purview of 18103C, we might be at the end of the road here.
Go ahead, ma'am. You can say what you want to say.
She's speaking about the
You
air
have to
quality.
speak into the mic.
Yeah.
And please state your name first, ma'am.
My name is Valerie Lewis, and she's speaking about the air quality. This is a picture of my face. If the air quality was so good, I would have never swole up like this. There has to be something that they're not saying. That's not something that is not true. And I started not to sleep in my room from early December, and then late December is when my face starts to swell up. And I haven't gotten back in my room yet because although sometimes I sleep on the couch, and my room is worse, and I slept in the car at points too because it was so bad. And when they came to clean, because she was the main ones there when they're cleaning. If I had to relieve her, I'd stay in the hallway and sit to watch them. But they never went in my room. It's my room that way I felt it the most. They never entered my room. And sometimes I even entered the room and I would feel funny sometimes, worse than the other places. So I don't know what they're talking about, air quality. My pictures prove that the air quality was not right because I've had allergic reaction to mold 10 years ago, but my face never swelled up like this. My eyes was almost closed. That's why I had to go to the VA and finally. So the air quality was not good, and it's still not good because my body tells me. My pressure stays up. I have to always be fighting it. I have to leave the area, sometimes go ride, and then I feel good. I go someplace else, I feel excellent. Come back to the apartment, there it goes again. Yep. So I know they didn't complete the work.
Okay, anything further from the city?
I just want to make it clear that the roofers were there before this picture
I got
was
it. You
taken.
told me 3 times. I got it.
Thank
Anything further from the respondent?
No.
So this is a hard case because I recognize that that the tenants do feel that there's something wrong here. As a practical matter, the question is whether there's a violation of 18103C. There's clearly a repair. I guess the city would argue that the repair might be insufficient. The respondent would say the repair is sufficient. The best that I can do in this particular case is to order the respondent to make available the space for the city to enter and check the condition of the walls to see if they're in compliance with 18103C based on the evidence that was presented to me. I will give the respondent 30 days to make the space available for inspection, and if the city believes there's a violation, we will reset this hearing in front of whichever special magistrate is here with any evidence to support that there is a violation. But at this point, I can't take it based on the fact that your mother is unwell, but there's no diagnostic way for me to tell whether that's a product of the mold, that's a product of other environments. I don't know. There'd have to be some kind of real evidence that there's a violation that continues to exist. Ma'am, I accept the fact that you had some medical problems, but I don't know what the proximate cause of those is.
That's
And
what
there's
the
no,
doctor says.
there's no way for me to know that from the evidence that I have here. So what I will allow the city to do is I will order the respondent to allow the city to inspect the condition of the property for violations of 18103C, since I think there is sufficient evidence for me to do that. And if the city has additional evidence, I will let them reset this hearing and bring it. But as it currently stands, I just don't have enough evidence to make any other ruling. The respondent has repaired the wall, at least as much as I can tell. So I certainly can't issue a fine for that based on the evidence I have here today. That's my ruling.
Number 7, 438 16th Street, CE 190305253. Number 7, 438 16th Street.
Good morning, sir. Officer Phil Cartwright, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The property at 438 16th Street was originally cited on March 21st of 2019 for clean, unsanitary conditions, screens needed on windows, repair dwelling to weather-tight state, repair of interior walls, repair of floors, repair and replace of external door frames and windows, repair of plumbing fixtures and bathroom, exterior paint, proper installation and repair of kitchen sink, hot water and cold water lines, proper installation of all cooking and heating equipment. Service was achieved by certified mail. The property is posted on March 26th of 2019, as well as posted in City Hall. I have made contact with the owners of the property who are here this morning. They are in the process of trying to correct some of the violations. The city is asking that the property come into compliance within 45 days or $500 a day thereafter.
Names, please.
Brian Madrazakis, this is my father, Jim Madrazakis. Yeah, we've been in contact with them. We're just here for an extension. If we get the 45 days, we're waiting on the eviction process to finish. And yeah. We have
How many
no
days do
problem
you need to
complying.
bring this property into compliance, sir?
The 45 days would be fine.
The city seeking 45 days?
That's fine. Some of the work may require permits, so if indeed they need additional time for the permits, I mean, they should ask for that time now.
Okay, 45 days, if a permit's required, I'll at least apply for the permit within 45 days. But I can't guarantee the
Would it
permit
make
will
more
be
sense
issued.
to give them a larger period of time to do this in?
I mean, they're doing some of the work now. I don't think it should take any more than 45 days.
Just the permitting is the only thing I'm worried about, but yes, I mean.
Is there any
It should
reason
be
to
fine.
believe the permitting couldn't be done in 45 days?
No,
I don't think so, no.
okay, yeah. I mean, we'll definitely do it.
What fine amount was the city seeking?
$500 a day per after.
I mean, if something does come up that prevents, something that's outside your control associated with the permitting that does come up, go to the city and they can bring it back before the magistrate, and he or she could give you an extension on that if it's reasonable, okay?
That's fine, yeah.
All right. In case CE 1903023, I make the following findings of fact and life. I notice is sufficient. I found the property in violation of, I'm just going to say all of the listed code sections.
Excuse me,
Special
Mr.
magistrate.
Magistrate?
Oh,
There's
sorry.
another, I'm sorry, there seems to be another witness who's asking
This is one of the tenants, I guess, that actually wanted to talk to you on behalf
Okay,
of
go ahead.
some of the stuff that she's, I guess, dealing
Ma'am,
with.
can you tell me your name, please?
Yes, my name is Vernell Strawn. I'm one of his tenants. I'm not in this building, but my daughter was. I don't think they need an extension on anything, because that house has been like that for years. Jim said he's been here for 40 years, he can do what he wants. That bathroom, I thought my bathroom was worse, because I'm in another room, and before I gave him my money, his son Brian told me, because when I looked at the room, he said, I'm in another building, but he said that he was going to fix my bathroom. My bathroom is like a piece of cake compared to what that there looked like. And it's terrible. And when you tell him that you promised to fix this, he said he's going to send me back to Belgrade. I never been to Belgrade. I don't know what that meant. And he wants to evict you if you talk up. Like, he wants to evict me now because I called code enforcement concerning one of the other apartment. He evicted my daughter because she spoke up. That's why we're here today. And I don't think it's right for you. And it's not just that room in that particular house. All his property is like this. He's going to do a little touch-up, paint the building, cut some, move stuff and whatever. But it's not right to be a landlord and talk to people like you're trash. Like his apartments and his rooms look like trash. And to give him 45 more days, when he's been there for 40 years, it shouldn't be looking like that. It should not. His home, I'm pretty sure, don't look like that. I have 2 pit bulls. My pit bull cage look like an apartment. It should not, this is not right, nor is it fair. So to give him 45 days, when he's been there for 40 years and boast about it, no, he should have this done within 10 days. If he don't have it done, he shouldn't even have a license to rent, because he don't respect the tenants. He don't respect nobody that's in his apartments. That whole building, he threw some paint on there recently. Oh, it looks nice on the outside. But you got nets, flies, roaches, rats. And in one of the ovens that he put in there, it had a maxi pad in it. It doesn't make sense. It's shameful. And like I said, when I moved there, before I gave him my money, he told me that he would fix it. It took him 3 months just to get the oven fixed. And that's something he went past. I'm in the room now. I don't have an air conditioner. He told me he's going to get rid of me because I cost him too much money, and I'm a problem. I'm in a room, I don't have an air conditioner. I got 4 fans. And he said he's gonna put me out because I came to tell, because he wouldn't do what he was responsible to do. That's his responsibility, to maintain his property. And since he couldn't do it, I had to come to code enforcement. Now he wants to evict me. Anybody that come up against this man, he put them out. At one point, he had the West Palm Beach police, not the sheriff, would go, the people give him 800, they say, well, I'll give you the 200. He had the police come and knock on their door. Put these people out. The police said, well, he has a hotel motel license. I'm like, what? So when he tried this with my daughter, it just so happened he stopped a different officer, and he called his supervisor. He said, oh, no, this is not no hotel. These apartments. So he upset because he had to go to court. They made him give her back her keys. But he went to court, and they still evicted her. And she was explain to them, no, the reason why he evicted me is because I called code enforcement. And now he has a case against me. I'm not behind in my rent. He took my money, and then he said, I'm gonna take your money, but you still gotta get out because I called code enforcement.
Thank you for sharing that, ma'am. Well, I think there's plenty for the city to take a look at here. But the case, and this is similar in some ways to previous case, which is that code enforcement is very limited, right? We're limited to issues associated with things that are brought before us. And under the law, I have to give him a reasonable amount of time to comply. In other words, I can't give him a compliance date that it's impossible for him to do. And we've already known that he has to get some permits, and permitting takes some time. So I don't want you to feel as if this means that somehow I'm taking into account that he doesn't do what he's supposed to do. There's going to be a substantial fine associated with this if he doesn't do what he's supposed to do, because there's serious violations here. But I have to give him a reasonable amount of time to comply under the code and under the law of Florida. So in case CE 1903023, I'm going to make the following findings of fact and law. I'm going to find notice is sufficient. I'm going to find the property in violation of all of the listed code sections. Here, I'm going to give the respondent 45 days to bring the property in compliance, or a fine in the amount of $500 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 12, 1386 Ninth Court, CE 190300098.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement Officer with the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on March 8th. Certified mail was signed for on March 9th. In addition, the notice was hand-delivered to the current tenants in the property on March 8th. This property was cited for 1813B, 94446 to 7434A1J, and 1816A. I've had contact with who I presumed were the tenants, and I've also had contact with this young lady here as of yesterday. The property has complied with the landscape maintenance, the garbage can placement, and the clean and sanitary. The only thing that's left to do is the roof repair, which I guess because they're like in litigation, or there's something going on with, I guess, the tenants, they can't do the repairs until they get a final order on that. So the city is requesting 180 days, $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Sabrina Nevialkowski. I represent the bank who's currently in foreclosure proceedings. I do not represent the current owner of the property. So I'm here representing the bank's interest in the property. So it's currently in litigation. It's about to be foreclosed on, this property. So I've spoken to the officer here, and she told me that she would give the bank the property 6 months to comply with the roof, and the bank has no objection to that. So we were just here to be present.
So no one's here on behalf of the owner, Brookins Henry
No.
Estate? And when do you anticipate the foreclosure being completed?
I believe they were in settlement negotiations, so I think, I'm not sure, but I could say maybe like 3 months around that time. But the bank currently has an interest in the property anyways because they have a lien, so I'm sure they're going to start trying to fix the roof.
Okay.
The city's good with the 180 days?
Yes, sir.
All right, CE 190300098, I make the findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 18103B. Are the clean and sanitary issues and the garbage issues still there, or is it just the
No,
roof?
they comply with everything
Okay,
other
just
than the roof.
Okay. So 18103B, respondent has 180 days to bring the property in compliance or fine of $100 per name issue.
Thank you.
Number 13908 8th Street, CE 190300124. Number 13908 8th Street. Cassandra?
Cassandra, you're back.
Number 13908 8th Street.
I did not know he was here. Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement Officer with the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on March 11th. Certified mail was sent on March 14th. In addition, the property and City Hall were posted on March 15th. This property was cited for failure to secure a building permit, required inspections, extermination for pests, repairing the roof walls and foundation, exterior paint required, clean and sanitary, rental license violation, certificate of use, garbage litter and refuse, and restrictions upon land use. I've had contact with the owner, Mr. Fonseca. At this time, the city is asking for additional 30 days to acquire the rental license, the COU, the extermination, the garbage and litter, and 60 days for all the other violations, or $200 per day until compliance is achieved.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Good morning. Joan Fonseca.
So tell me what's going on.
So when I bought the house had some issues, like you can see. I've been dealing with them. I already took care of the trash and the loan. The permits, I already submit for the permit, for the rental permit. I'm just have to schedule the inspection.
Do you contest any of the violations that the city is saying are on your property?
Say that again, I'm sorry?
So the city has a whole list of violations they say that are on your property. Do you have issues with any of them? Do you think are they all accurate?
I have been taking care of some of them. Like they said that the property is supposed to be one full house, but I have some emails that the property is a 3 unit.
I think he's referring to the 94.6 restriction upon land use. As I told Mr. Fonseca, we did pull the records of that property, and there was an actual extra unit in the back that is not allowed to be there. And I did pull it up and I showed it to him. So that, I guess that's what he's referring to, and that's the issue when it comes to the rental license as well. Because of that unit in the rear property that is not permitted, there's no way that we can issue a rental license for for a structure that's not supposed to be there.
Can it be permitted?
If he gets the proper permits and the building inspector sign off on it, they inspect it, and it's up to code, it possibly can be, but as of right now, it is not. And I did want to mention, as far as like all the interior items that need to be done and things in the behind the fence, I have not been allowed back on the property, so I do not know if he has complied with them. As far as like the garbage and the litter and things like that, I don't know if he's done them, because I haven't been allowed back on it. I have not been allowed back in the rear of the property.
How about the exterior paint? Looks like it was painted, no?
The rear property, again, yeah, mostly. Most of the violations are due to the rear property, but I know he does have a for rent sign for the front unit as well. That one is fine, but again, we cannot issue a rental license when he's applying for 3 units, when we only know that the front is allowed and one part of the back is allowed.
I have here an email from the city saying that was allowed. When I bought it, I bought it as a 3-unit property, and I have an email from someone in the city.
You want to show that to the city?
Yes. To you?
Go to the city attorney first.
How are you, sir? So, one was from Michael Gordon. And this is the email was sent to the old property management from the old owner.
Okay. Back in December 15, right? We have address specifically 910 8th Street and 910.
asking for the change of the
Yeah,
address,
I-
and he said that that was taken, so we could do 908 for the front, and then 19 for the back. Unit 1, Unit 2, and then 3. We have those. And that's from the city. And then I called, when I received
Thank you.
I called to Carolina Carvajal.
We have that shows what's allowed, and it shows the front structure and one part of the back unit. The second half of it is not allowed, but that one part.
What I will tell the magistrate, okay, is whatever address it gets assigned is a totally separate issue from a legal standpoint to code. Okay, so I'm gonna tell the magistrate that I believe that you still gotta go through some code issues here, okay?
Yeah, because
So-
and I just want to, we pulled it up. We didn't even pull it up by the address. We actually pulled it up by the parcel. Because we wanted to make sure that, because sometimes you get records on one number, one address, but we pulled it by the actual parcel. And that's how, that one part of that structure is not allowed.
Okay,
Or that
so,
wasn't permitted, I should
okay,
say.
so let's do this, let's do this. Let's submit this.
Mhm.
You'd like to submit this, right, sir?
Yes.
Okay, so, let's go ahead and give it to the magistrate. And like I said, that's what I'm gonna tell the magistrate, okay? I just wanna let you know. Okay.
Does the city have any objections?
No objection to submitting, sir. As I explained to Mr. Fonseca, in my reading of that email, if you review, it looks to me that that is just addressing a particular, how do we number this particular parcel, this address, and I think city feels that it's a separate and distinct issue from any code issues that this address may also have. I don't feel it's dispositive of the issue today.
So you would contest that it's some form of estoppel?
Yes.
All right, for the record, I'll mark the email as Respondent's Exhibit 1 for the purposes of the file. How many days was the city looking to give him to bring the property into compliance?
For the rental license and rental license, the COU and the extermination, we were asking for 30 days. But for the building permit, I did initially say 60 days, but I guess with this case, because we're still trying to figure it out, I wouldn't mind changing that to 120, if you're okay with that.
All right, so the city wants to give you 30 days to get your rental license, and I guess they're willing to give you 120 days to get your building permits. What about the remaining stuff there?
Well, for the building permit, the inspections, and the 94.6, they're all wrapped into one. Because if he doesn't have the proper permits for that one structure, it shouldn't be there, then he potentially might have to remove it. But if he get the proper permits and they allow it, then he's cured all those violations together.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. Sir, what's your positions on the city's request? They want to give you 30 days for the rental license issue and 120 days to resolve the issue associated with the unpermitted building on the rear of the property.
Okay.
All right. The fine amount was what, 200?
Yes.
All right. In case CE 19030-124, make the following findings of fact and life. I notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of the listed code sections. As to the issue of the rental license and certificate of use, I give the respondent 30 days to bring the property into compliance. As to all the remaining issues associated with the unpermitted building, I give the respondent 120 days to bring that property into compliance.
Thank you.
Or a fine in the amount of $200 per day may issue.
What about the extermination?
The extermination is 30 days.
Should be 30 also.
I already did that.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I have
For the record, the extermination will be within 30 days, though. The respondent says that he did it, so all you have to do is have the city come and confirm that that's been done, so they can put you in compliance on that, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Number 46, 139 Gregory Place, CE 19030935. Number 46, 139 Gregory Place.
Good morning, Special Magistrate Alex Lopez with the City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Property located at 139 Gregory Place is a residential rental property that was brought to my attention by its neighboring properties for a high activity of transient patrons. Upon research of an Airbnb website and inspection of the property, it was cited for renting without a valid rental license and certificate of use, a junk vehicle parked at the residence, dirty sidewalk, landscape maintenance, and for a dead tree. Special Magistrate, I have been in contact with the registered agent and Gio, who is a representative of the property management, who were both unaware of the property being utilized as an Airbnb. I have also been in contact with the tenant, whose profile was listed on the Airbnb website. Your Honor, to date, Code Section 34102A has complied. The rental license and certificate of use has been applied for. However, it remains in violation, as well as the remaining code sections for the failed inspection. I'd also like to enter into the record that the Airbnb listing has since been removed from the website. However, the record needs to reflect that it was in violation prior to and during the course of the case. The property was cited on March 28th, 2019. Mailed first class and certified mail was returned signed on April 4th, and the property was posted on April 9th. Your Honor, the city's recommendation is to comply within 45 days or be subject to a 100 per day fine thereafter.
All right, so let me see if I understand correctly here. So the city is alleging that the property still is in violation of 18106A because of stains on the sidewalk. Is that correct?
No.
No.
I'm sorry, 18106A, yes, that's for the stains on the sidewalk.
And that currently is still an issue?
Correct.
Okay. Now, as to the rental license and certificate of use, I assume that's the Airbnb listing?
That is part of it, because there was also no rental license to rent the property at all. So the two fall under that.
Okay. And so their removal of the Airbnb issue means that they're probably not actively renting it, or at least that's the city's position, but you want a finding that they had previously done so without proper license in case there's a repeat violation?
That is correct.
Okay. The litter and trash debris, is that still there?
Yes, that is. And that's actually for the dead tree. So dead vegetation falls under 18106I. So there's a dead tree in the back, which they will be taking care of.
Why 45 days? That seems a long time.
Gio, the property representative here, he's going to give some testimony that they are in the process of evicting the tenant, so that way there won't be any conflict. They can have everything taken care of within that 45-day time frame.
You must be Gio.
Yes, I am Jigo Powell.
Oh, I'm sorry, your last name was?
Powell.
Powell?
Yes.
All right, so tell me what's going on, Mr. Powell.
So right now, what we're doing is we're trying to evict the current residents now. Just not able to really gain access to the home to do a proper inspection. We happened to gain access because the resident aunt was there yesterday, so we were able to do an inspection. But so far as like the Airbnb, I had no idea. And also, we just took over the property not too long ago.
So there was no rental license for the current occupant, not the Airbnb one, just the current occupant? There was no rental license?
There was not one at the time. They have applied for it. There was a balance that was remained to be paid. They did pay for that, but that violation for the 18162A remains in violation because the inspection of the property failed.
Why did it fail?
For the maintenance of the landscape, the interior and exterior conditions of the property, and the in order for a rental license to be
That's an issue whether we get to the Airbnb thing or
compliance.
not, right?
Excuse me?
So that's an issue notwithstanding the Airbnb
That's
issue.
correct.
And I presume it's your tenant that did the Airbnb?
Correct, from what I was told, but as we had no idea that the Airbnb was going on, and we still don't, because I even tried to look at the sites and everything, and I didn't see anything come up with that. But we're still just trying to go ahead and evict the current resident. We can get in there, do what we have to do, and apply for the license, which we already applied for the license, but redo the inspection. Because we did the inspection yesterday, and it didn't pass because of the outside. And also, as he was saying, that, you know, the house needs to be cleaned, stuff needs to be off the floor, and things like that, so.
And you need to evict the resident before you have that access?
I want to go ahead and evict the resident as well.
All right, are you agreeable to the 45 days or $100 a day?
I mean, I wish we were granted a little bit more time, because, like I said, we just started the eviction process for that resident, and normally evictions takes at least 2 to 3 months to get them out.
Well, it shouldn't take that long.
I mean, to evict them, yeah.
Depending on,
Yeah.
depending on why you're evicting them, right? But,
It does. Then you have to get in there, clean it up. You have to get vendors in there to, you know, to spruce it up, replace things, and, you know, and so forth. So if you can,
What's the city's position on the time frame?
Typically, we request 30 days. For this, decided to go a little bit longer with 45 days because Mr. Gio presented the fact that they were going to evict the tenant there. The violations do constitute that there is a problem there. So the city is still going to stay with the 45 days or the $100 per day fine thereafter.
All right, in CE 190303995, make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. Find the property in violation of 18106A, 18162A, 18106I, 2232A. I'm going to give the respondent 60 days to bring the property in compliance, or a fine amount of $100 per day may issue. I've given you a little extra time, but I would get on it.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yep.
That's all I have signed in for the 9 o'clock agenda. Is there anyone else here for the 9 o'clock agenda? Hearing none. Yeah. There you go. You're welcome. Number 611 47th Street, CE 190403332.
This is the
Erica,
HBC
excuse
Bank.
me, what number?
Number 611 47th Street.
Morning. Michael Williams, Code Enforcement Officer, City of West Palm Beach. Property 611 47th Street was cited on 4/18/19. Certified mail was sent on 4/18/19. The certified mail was returned, stamped no access to the delivery area. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted on 4/18/2019. Property was cited for a host of violations here.
Yeah, did yourself.
Yeah, yeah, it was cited for 18100. Egress property is partially boarded, however, boarded incorrectly. External doors and windows in disrepair. Mounds of trash and debris throughout the property, both interior and exterior.
Tell me about the windows and doors. What's wrong with them?
Say again?
While you're going through them, why don't we just establish the facts?
All right,
as
that's
we're going
fine.
through?
Partially boarded. Most of the windows are partially boarded. For what? Well, I believe the reason they are partially boarded is because they are broken and/or in disrepair. Here's the larger picture here with this property. We have vagrants, homeless individuals, prostitutes living in this property. This property's been cited from 2018 to present approximately 11 times. The police have responded to this particular property.
Why not proceed under the nuisance provision? This sounds like a nuisance provision.
Well, I have to bring it before you initially, and then we can subsequently submit it over to nuisance. but there's no active FPL account. There's no power there. The weatherhead actually has been removed. Also, the meter has been removed probably by FPL. There's no water here at the property. There has not been an active water account since November 2018. I spoke to Tim Large, the chief building inspector, this morning. His guys are going to go out today.
There's your broken window.
Right. His guys are going to go out today and red tag the property, giving these individuals 24 hours to either have the water turned on or vacate the property, which we doubt will happen. But back to the code sections, the doors are in disrepair as they are always standing kind of wide open. The front door and the rear doors are literally just standing wide open all day, all night. There's mounds of trash and debris on the property, both internally and externally. I actually looked into the windows on yesterday, and there was literally like a mound of trash, maybe 3-4 feet high. It's not even in bags, it's just amassing there in the living room. The exterior of the structure as well as the interior definitely needs to be painted. There's overgrowth on the property on the eastern and western perimeter of the property. There is no rental license. We later found out that these individuals that are there are just squatting here at the property. Property needs to be secured in light of what is transpiring there at the property. Let's see.
Obviously has boards, but there's no boarding certificate, right?
Right, exactly.
That car is non-functional?
Yeah, there's an abandoned vehicle with the windows knocked out of it. There's like beer cans and just storage. There's no license plate on the vehicle as well. The garbage cans are always out in public view. The right-of-way needs to be maintained as well. It needs the address characters. The swell area requires sod. The fencing is in gross disrepair. Landscaping, city does require landscaping. At times there's unapproved parking there where I guess, I don't know, people just kind of appear and they just park on the front lawn there, which I've noted on numerous occasions. There's tons of outdoor storage as well.
All right, what remedy is the city seeking?
Say again?
What remedy are you seeking?
In light of the fact that this location is potentially an incubator for communicable diseases due to the mounds of trash, no water, no power, visible feces, smell of urine, broken windows, entire property unsecured, and constantly occupied by vagrants, prostitutes, and homeless persons. I also noted that there was like identification cards for individuals probably of Guatemalan descent. I don't know, maybe individuals were getting robbed and these guys were going there. There was like ID cards. There was all a bunch of cards on the ground, and it was different
activity.
persons, right? Also, due to the recent outbreaks of hepatitis and MRSA, this property is of grave concern to the city. City's requesting a one-time fine of $3,000, immediate abatement to cut and clean and also board the entire property.
Have you had any conversations with the bank?
Actually, I did receive one phone call from someone from the bank. They said that the property was in list pendants, which that's a whole drawn-out process in and of itself. I just took a shot in the dark. I said, is there any way you could, send a vendor out? Right. And they said, no, there's nothing they can do at this time.
All right, in case, I guess you noticed by posting and by certified mail?
Yes.
All right, in case CE 190403332, I make the following findings of fact on live. And notice is sufficient, I find the property in violation of all of the listed code sections. I make further finding that said violations constitute a threat to the health, safety, and welfare of the city of West Palm Beach. I order the respondent to immediately bring the property into compliance. In the absence of immediate compliance, I hereby issue a one-time fine for irreparable harm in the amount of $3,000, and I also authorize the city to enter the property and abate any and all violations. I hereby charge the cost of said abatement against the property and property owner.
Thank you.
What about the violations that the city will not abate? Like painting and numbering?
Well, today, what we actually want,
Is that 3,000 fine cover that? Or?
well, here was my thought process. I mean, yeah, we can run fines on the property, but immediately, what needs to happen is the property needs to be secured and cut and cleaned. And I know that the bank, hopefully here in short order, will come in and do what they need to do. And as far as painting the property, but the larger issue is securing the property, cutting it, and cleaning it so that it's not a health and safety issue. The paint and all that, yeah, that will eventually be addressed. Okay, thank you.
Number 8, 6123 Wildcat Run, CE 190300296.
Good morning, Joseph Oliva, Chronic Nuisance Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. This property was declared a chronic nuisance on 3/21/2019. The declaration was posted on 3/25/2019 and certified mail sent on 3/25/2019. There has been no contact with the owner and no action plan received to date. The notice of violation was posted on 4/8/2019 and certified mail sent on 4/9/2019. The property has been owned since September of 2008. Previous adjudications, 9/19/2018 for overgrowth, city abatement, maintain the landscaping. When the property was declared a chronic nuisance, there was clean and sanitary conditions, excessive overgrowth, pool not being maintained, pool water green, trees and bushes needed trimming, obstruction of the right-of-way, dead vegetation, landscape maintenance, and a dirty structure. Yesterday's inspection showed this basically the same thing: clean and sanitary conditions, excessive overgrowth, pool not being maintained, trees and bushes need trimming, obstructions of the right-of-way, dead vegetation, landscape maintenance, and dirty structure. The city requests that the special magistrate find a pattern of nuisance activity and enter a chronic nuisance service order for the services to be provided by the city to include, but not limited to, maintaining of the landscaping, maintaining of the pool, removal of trash and debris, any access to the yard, and any other abatement methods necessary to keep this property in compliance.
Is there any evidence that they responded as attempting to bring this property into compliance?
No, sir. It's my first initial inspection. It looks the same as it did when I went there yesterday also.
Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? All right, in case CE 190300296, make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find a pattern of nuisance activity exists on this property. I affirm the city's declaration that the property is in fact a chronic nuisance. I hereby enter a chronic nuisance service order authorizing the city to perform any nuisance abatement services that are needed on the property and to charge the cost of that abatement activity against the property owner.
Thank you.
Number 9352 LMR Road, CE 190300426.
Number 9 is complied.
Number 14, 777 South Flagler Drive, number 800W, CE 190400178.
Good morning, Officer Levine, City of West Palm Beach Code. This property was cited for failure to renew its business tax receipt. The property was posted on 4/18/2019. I spoke with a property management on Friday, and they told me that this modeling agency is still occupying the unit. The city is requesting 10 days to come into compliance, or one-time fee of $250 be assessed.
So there is a business on this property,
Yes, Excel Model and Talent Incorporated.
and they're still operating to the best of your knowledge.
According to the property management, yes.
Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? All right, in case CE 190400178, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient enough on the property in violation of 82143C and 82144. They have 10 days to bring the property in compliance or fine it $250 shall issue.
Number 15 is rescheduled, 330 Clematis Street, 222, CE 190400181. Number 16, 319 Clematis Street, number 414, CE 190400189.
Call that address again. It should,
319 Clematis Street, 414. Oh, that says Excel
Just-
model.
we just did that one.
Did we?
I called 14.
All right, we did the wrong one. So I have to withdraw the previous order. So we were doing, we did 190400178, which is,
7775.
That's my tax guru.
my tag route. Yeah.
That's the one where you said it was Excel modeling, number 14.
I have number 4. Yeah, we need to recall this.
Let's do 14
My tax
again.
guru, I'm sorry.
That's okay. For the record, I'm withdrawing the order previously given on 190400178 that was issued in error. We're going to redo that hearing now.
So we're going to redo 777?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Officer Levine, City of West Palm. This property was cited for failure to renew the business tax receipt. I spoke with the business owner, Eric Yankwith, on 4/9/2019, who assured me that he was going to make the payment. Certified mail was signed for on 4/11/2019, and as of this morning, there's still a balance in the system. So the city is requesting 10 days to come in compliance or one-time fee of $250.
So there is a business on this property. You spoke to the business owner. He indicated that he was going to pay the business receipt tax, but as far as you can tell from the records, that hasn't been done yet.
It hasn't been done, sir.
Okay. Okay, CE 190400178. I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 82143C and 82144. Respondent has 10 days to bring the property in compliance or fine of $250 per day. Sorry, one-time fine of $250 shall issue.
And then 15 is rescheduled, correct? 330 Clematis Street, 222?
Yes.
And then 16, 319 Clematis Street, 414, CE 190400189.
Excel Model and Talent Incorporated, yes. This business was cited for failure to renew its business license. Property was posted on 4/18/2019. I've had no contact with the property business owner. According to the property management, the business is still being run out of that unit. So the city is requesting 10 days to come into compliance or a one-time fee of $250 be assessed.
I can see you posted the property and you also spoke with the property owner,
Property management.
property management,
Yes.
and they indicated that the business was still being operated out of that location.
Yes, sir.
All right, in case CE 190400189, I make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient, I found the property in violation of 82143C and 82144. They have 10 days to bring the property in compliance, or there's a one-time fine of $250.
Thank you.
Number 17, 4903 Pinewood Ave, CE 190300099.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Ray Leung, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance, 4903 Pinewood Avenue, was originally cited on March 8th, 2019, with the notice of violation posted at the property and City Hall on March 26th, 2019. Certified mail was sent on March 11th, 2019. This property was cited for trash and debris, fence repair, landscaped areas must be grass, and outdoor storage. I have not made any contact with the owner, and all the violations still do exist. The city is requesting an additional 30 days to come into compliance or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
So I see the clean and sanitary. I can certainly see the trash. Where's the fence? And what's the fence issue?
One more over. Right
Okay.
there.
All right. So
And the neighbors that complained that, that's from the neighbor's backyard, that the fence is in need of repair as well, so.
and the fence is on this property, not the neighbor's property?
It's on their exactly.
Okay.
That's on 4903.
All right, clean and sanitary fence, landscaping. Okay, and I guess those cans are the outdoor storage?
Yes.
You've had no contact with them, noticed by posting in certified mail?
Yes, the property was posted and certified mail was sent. No contact with the owner, however.
Though it does appear someone's living in this property?
Yeah, someone is living there. There's no contact with him yet.
All right, and the remedy you were seeking?
30 days or $100 per day.
All right, KCE 190300099, I make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of 18106A, 9430-302A4, 94442C1, 9471C. Respondent has 30 days to bring the property in compliance or fine of $100 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Number 18, 5400 Spruce Ave, CE 190300134.
Ray Leung, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 5400 Spruce Avenue was originally cited on March 11th, 2019, with notice of a violation posted at the property and City Hall on March 14th, 2019. Certified mail was sent on March 12th, 2019. This property was cited for 18265 boarding certificate, 94482A unpaved parking, 7434A1J garbage can placement, and 34102A inoperative vehicle. I have not made contact with the owner, but 94482A and 34102A are in compliance. All other violations still remain. The city is requesting an additional 30 days to come into compliance or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
Where's the boarding? I guess it's been, are the windows? Okay.
Yes, right there.
All right. So, and there's no boarding certificate on record?
There is not.
All right. And what's the issue with the garbage cans?
The garbage, it's right there. It's still in the
are
public
they in view from the street?
Correct.
Okay. And you've had no contact with the property owner?
No contact, but that inoperative vehicle and the unpaved parking has been moved.
All right, CE 190300134, make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice sufficient from the property in violation of 18265 and 7434A1J, respondent has 30 days to bring the property in compliance or fine of $100 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Number 19, 3418 Greenwood Ave, CE 190300319.
Ray Leung, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 3418 Greenwood Avenue was originally cited on March 26, 2019, with a notice of violation posted at the property and City Hall on April 8, 2019. Certified mail was sent on March 26, 2019. This property was cited for dead vegetation, trash and debris, excessive growth, failure to comply, roof repair, and overgrowth in the parkway. I have not made contact with the owner, but all violations are in compliance with the exception of the 74.4C5, the dead vegetation. The city is requesting an additional 15 days to come into compliance or $100 per day until compliance is achieved. That's still present.
So they cut, they cleaned, they fixed the roof, and they left the dead vegetation in the right-of-way?
Yes. It seems like a simple fix. That's why it's the city's just requesting 15 days just to move that.
That's it, right there?
That's it on the one prior.
Can you go back?
That's it.
That's it, huh?
That's it.
All right, in case CE 190300319, I make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice it's sufficient to find the property in violation of 74.4C5, respondent has 15 days to bring the property in compliance or fine of $100 per day may issue.
Thank you.
We ready for the 11 o'clock agenda? Let's see, number... Okay. Okay, number 4, First Coast Energy LLP Shell Gas Station at 1541 Belvedere Road, CE 190400343.
Excuse me.
I have not been sworn in yet.
Anyone that's newly arrived that hasn't been sworn in, would you please rise and raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Florida?
I do.
All right, please be seated.
For City of West Palm, Agent Colvin, City of West Palm Beach Police Department. On Friday, March 15, 2019, I was working part of an undercover operation designed to check point-of-sale vendors that they're properly checking ID prior to selling alcohol. In order to accomplish this, I used the underage buyer who was age 19 at the time of the operation. At approximately 23:35 hours, the confidential source entered 1541 Belvedere Road. Upon entering, they picked up a 6-pack of Corona Lights, went to the clerk, and was sold the beer without being asked for age or identification. Following the purchase that was observed by me and the other agent inside the vehicle, the agent went inside, made contact with the clerk, explained to him that they did sell to an underage person, and we gave them the beer back, took a picture of the server and the beer, and retrieved our marked $20 bill. This is their...
The gentleman in the picture, that's the clerk?
That is the clerk who made the sale. This is their first offense. The city is asking for a $250 fine, and if they're willing to agree to do training through some sort of responsible vendor and get that back to the city.
Good morning, Commissioners. How are you? My name is Attorney Frank Blatney. I'm also here with the landlord.
I'm not a commissioner. I'm a special magistrate.
Okay, special master. In any event, this is the first time this has ever happened. They were kind of surprised that it did, but they want to take a proactive stance to make sure that this never happens again. That was an employee that was just there one day. He was terminated after the day, but they now initiated a new program they have now a new employee, they have a more comprehensive training program for the employees, and they also adopted new signage that's going to be in front of the register that states, beer and wine purchasers under 40 shall have valid ID ready at the register to prevent this from ever happening again. And since it was only the first time offense, we requested the commission would lower the $250 to maybe $150 or $100, and we'll make our best effort never have this happen again.
Is the city seeking a certification that they did the training, or is that just?
We're in negotiations with them, trying to figure out if we're able to order that or not. If they agree to that, then I would be more lenient to letting the fine reduced.
We will agree
I'll
to
leave
that.
that to the.
We will agree to that.
City would prefer that we receive, I think I heard the question right. City would prefer that we receive confirmation that the training was accomplished.
What's the city's position on the request for reduced fine?
I have no objections.
I have no objections, subject to what the magistrate would like to do in his discretion.
The only thing I would state is that it's stipulated that there is a violation this time, so that if it's a subsequent violation in the future, that they would be charged a higher fine the next time.
That's agreed.
How long would it take you to get some proof of certification of training?
Well, what would they require? Just like a letter from our office or something like that? Or
A point of sale,
what type of
a
certification?
responsible vendor. Palm Beach County Substance Awareness Coalition does one for very reduced price or free in person. But a responsible vendor company, something that you put your management through a training that they know how to check IDs, find fake IDs.
Essentially a letter from a vendor that does this training that you've completed the training.
We're working on getting a list of approved vendors for us to do that, but in the past we've ordered it to be a certain company.
Well,
we're not doing that further.
If I can, Special Master, since this is only the first time, can we just keep it at the fine? And then, as I said, we've made proactive procedures to do this in-house with better training and more signage at the point of purchase at the register. So with all due respect, would it be okay and appropriate to have the fine this time for the once offense, and if it ever happens again, to do additional procedures and additional training? But we've already encountered additional training procedures at the store.
Right, can't force
Yeah,
it,
just so we're on the same page here, we're under the impression we cannot force the training. If they're agreeing to it, then we reduce the fine. If they're not agreeing to the training, then the full fine.
All right, okay, CE 190403343, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find there was a violation of 612 state law. I hereby issue a one-time fine of $250.
That's fine, Your Honor. Have a great day.
You too.
Are we concluded today?
We are done.
Thank you. I know I get a sheet where we pay and everything.
Right there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 5 BD 4000 LLC for Marathon at 4000 South Dixie Highway.
Hello.
Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
Agent Colvin, once again for City of West Palm Beach Police Department. On Friday, March 15, 2019, I was working part of an undercover operation designed to check point-of-sale vendors that they're properly checking ID prior to selling alcohol. In order to accomplish this task, I employed the use of an underage buyer who was age of 19 at the time of the purchase. At approximately 22:41 hours, I sent the confidential source into Marathon at 4000 South Dixie. They retrieved a six-pack of Blue Moon, 12 fluid ounce bottles. Made contact with the clerk and purchased that alcohol without being asked their age nor asked to see ID. Following the interaction, the agent went inside, made contact with the clerk, took a picture of the clerk and of the alcohol served, and we retrieved our $20 bill, marked $20 bill. This is their second offense. The city's asking for a $500 fine, and if they would agree to go to training.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Nuruddin Sheikh. I'm the owner of the store.
One more time, a little slower, please.
Nuruddin Sheikh.
Can you spell that for me?
Nuruddin. Last name is Sheikh, Sheikh.
So you want to tell me what happened?
It's happening the first time he said, but it wasn't my knowledge. The letter went to somebody's name. Still, this one also the alum, somebody other name as a owner. So I don't know the first one, and they didn't inform me. But when it happened the next time, usually the guy got fired from us. Also, we have a well training for everybody, and when we hire someone, we said if you sell the beer or cigarette under age, right away you will get fired. So we do fire him, and also we gonna, whoever rest of people is working and the new people, we train them the well. So hopefully it's not gonna happen next time. That's I could tell you. And also we have some training system, 3 hours alcohol beverage training, and when we do hire the people, we do the training for that. Everyone should take the training, you know. Some employees follow, someone is not following, so maximum we can fire them. Nothing else we couldn't do.
To address the name issue that you spoke of first, the fine is ordered to the owner of the property, not the business owner itself, 'cause that's where the fines are attached to. But that's why it's also posted on the business as well.
Yeah,
what is the?
Hold on one second. Let me just make. So is the city willing to reduce the size of the fine in return for their commitment to training? Is that the approach the city's taking now?
Not if it's a multiple offense.
Okay. So in this particular case, the city is seeking the fine of $500.
Correct.
Okay. Go ahead, sir.
No, I have nothing to say.
All right. This is a second offense, so the statutory amount is $500, and I'm going to assess that fine. So in case CE 190403338, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find that the respondent is in violation of 612, and I hereby issue a one-time fine in the amount of $500. Got to make sure they don't do it. Because the next fine, what's the third?
Well, the issue, it'll be $500 again, but the issue then, if it's continuous, we'll move to revoke their license, their liquor license, and then they won't be able to sell.
The penalties get considerably harsher if they find it again. Do you understand?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Sir. Instructions are on the bottom. The instructions to pay are on the bottom. Number 6, Okeechobee Station Property LLC for Chevron Gas Station at 1921 Okeechobee Boulevard, CE 190400342.
Once again, with the City of West Palm Beach Police, Agent Timothy Colvin. On Friday, March 15, 2019, working part of an undercover operation designed to check point-of-sale vendors that they're properly checking ID prior to selling alcohol to people under the age of 21. In order to do this, I employed the use of an underage buyer who was 19 at the time of the purchase. At approximately 23:51 hours, that confidential source entered the Chevron station at 1921 Okeechobee. Upon entering, they went to the freezer area, retrieved a six-pack of Blue Moon, 12 fluid ounces, made contact with the clerk, was able to purchase the alcohol without being asked their age or asked to produce ID. Following the interaction, an agent went inside, made contact with the clerk, took a picture of the clerk and the alcohol that was sold. This is their note to lease their second and the last one. We gave them a reduced fine. The city's asking for $500 fine.
Is this the third offense? It's what it says on my docket.
That sounds correct. I'm pretty sure. I know on one of those we reduced the fine. One of the three, and one of the two.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Yes, it's Oscar Mendez.
Oscar Mendez?
Yes.
And what is your position with the, are you the owner of the company?
No, sir. Just a clerk, but I just started working down there. I don't have no experience to work in the gas station. So, and it happened so fast that I sell the beer, so.
Well, the city doesn't fine you, sir. They fine the business. Does the business know about this?
Yeah, he know.
They told you to come?
Yeah, that he told me to come.
I think we found the root of the problem.
Yeah, we would like to see the owners take responsibility. That's the reason why we, instead of arresting, which in some cases I do arrest the servers if I find it negligent on their part, but I'd much rather get into contact with the owners to make them know that this is something that needs to stop. And usually on the training side is where we see the most benefit.
Well, Mr. Mendez, I'm not going to fine you, but I am going to fine the owner of the business, the Chevron, because this is the third offense. So in case CE 1904, is there anything you want to tell me before I roll?
I just want to know how much I gotta pay for this, or.
Well, you don't. Well, I suppose you could pay anybody's bill if you want, but the fine goes to the owner, Chevron.
Okay.
Not to you. But in case CE 19040342, make the following findings of fact and law. I find a violation of 612. I hereby issue a one-time fine in the amount of $500 for a third offense.
Thank you.
I'll give you a copy of the order also, I'll mail it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
You and Kimberly on that one, because, I mean, that is ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah.
Needs to pay the fine.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'm going to mail that to them as well.
Yep.
Want to go back to the regular docket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. 24, 417 49th Street, number 24, CE 19030149.
Wait, are we doing name reductions?
Other matter? For the 11:30s. Yeah.
Sorry, Charlie.
Is Joseph Patrick not here?
Officer Petrick, you're up.
Number 24, 417 49th Street.
I apologize. I thought we were still on other matters. I apologize.
You
All right,
know-
Joe Petrick, West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This case in reference to a single-family residence that was issued a notice of violation on March 18th via certified mail and posting for the exterior of the walls of the house in disrepair. The garage and the roof of the garage is also in disrepair. There's paint buckets and debris being stored outside, trash can being stored in public view on the street, and the lawn and the swale is also in disrepair. The notice of violation gave required compliance in 3 days for the trash cans, 10 days to remove the paint buckets and debris, and 30 days for the exterior structure repairs and restoration of the lawn and the swale restoration. I have not heard from the respondent. As of today, Code Section 74-35A1J, the trash can came into compliance. Code Section 18106A regarding the paint buckets and debris also came into compliance. However, the following code sections remain out of compliance. 18103B for the garage door and roof in disrepair. 18106G for the exterior structure in need of paint of repair. And 94-442E, the lawn and swale still in need of restoration. The city is asking for the respondent to come in compliance within 30 days or a $100 a day fine be assessed.
Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? So we have paint.
Right, with the exterior of the paint, you have the shutters falling off. You know, there's some decorative shutters on top along with some shutters in the front. The paint is flaking and peeling on the house as well as the garage.
Okay. And the roof, what's the condition with the roof?
If we could find the picture where the garage is, there's no existing roof on most of that garage right now. There's boards. If you go back, Monique, one more time for me. Just sort of laid across the top of the garage. Right there, you can see the boards overhanging.
Yep.
The garage door doesn't open or close. They just hang a blue tarp in front of it.
Yeah, and I already saw there's no landscaping in part of that swale.
That's correct, sir.
All right, in case CE 1903014, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find the property in violation of sections 18106G, 18103B, and 94442E. Respondents 30 days to bring the property in compliance or fine of $100 per day may issue.
Number 25, 5014 Spruce Avenue, CE 1903053.
Joe Petrick, West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This case is in reference to a single-family residence that was issued a notice of violation via certified mail and posting on March 18th for a boat and trailer being stored on the property. Exterior walls and garage door in need of repair and painting. Chemical buckets being stored outside, and a lawn in disrepair. A portion of the lawn was also being used for parking. The notice of violation gave 10 days to remove the chemical buckets, boat and trailer, and 30 days to repair or restore the lawn and the exterior of the structure. After the notice of violation was issued, a few weeks after it was issued, I spoke to the respondent on a few occasions to discuss the violations. As of today, code sections 18106A and 94446.2, the lawn came into compliance. The chemical buckets have also been removed. The parking on the lawn is no longer happening. It's been restored with sod. However, violations 94-487B, the boat and trailer storage, and 18103J, the condition of the exterior structure, including the garage door, remain in violation. The city is asking for 30 days for the property to come into compliance or a $100 a day fine be assessed.
Did they indicate that they were going to bring this into compliance?
The last I heard from was 10 days ago, not this past Friday, but the Friday before. And he said that he was going to be working on the property and he would give me a call back on Monday. I did try to call him the middle part of last week to see where he was, because I saw some effort was done on the lawn restoration, but I never heard from him back.
And the boat's still in the driveway?
Yes, sir, the boat's still in the driveway and so is the trailer.
All right, in CE 190300153, I make the following findings of fact and law. I notice is sufficient from the property in violation of 18103J and 9447B. Respondent has 30 days to bring the property in compliance or fine of $100 per day may issue.
Number 26, 423 51st Street, CE 1903090.
Joe Petrick, West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This case is in reference to a single-family residence that has a lawn and swale in need of repair and restoration in violation of Code Section 94-446-2. A notice of violation was issued via certified mail and posting on March 18th and gave the respondent 30 days to bring the property into compliance by restoring the lawn and swale landscaping per city ordinance specifications. Since the notice of violation was issued, I have not heard from the respondent. As of today, the property remains in violation. The city is asking for the respondents to come in compliance within 30 days or a $50 a day fine be assessed.
Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? So you're referring both to the mulching and the vegetation there?
Yeah, the complaint came in originally that it was overgrown, and it was. Not severely, but there were weeds on it. But the lawn is non-existing. It's not even really mulch. It's just dead leaves and dirt. And both the swale and the lawn itself, and some other dead vegetation, and some concrete, older concrete that's coming up in there. But there's no sod or no other green landscaping whatsoever besides the bushes and trees on there.
You're seeking 30 days and $100 per day?
$50 a day.
$50. In CE 1903019, I make the following findings of fact and law. I notice is sufficient from the property in violation 944462. Respondent has 30 days to bring the property in compliance or fine of $50 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Number 27, 3800 Spruce Avenue, CE 190400089. Is that complied? Number 27, is that complied? 3800
There you go.
Spruce.
Ninety-four 305E, a visibility triangle issue.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes, that complied. That came into compliance.
No, Number 28, 1325 North Congress Ave, CE 1903092.
Good morning. City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On March 21st, the property at 1325, the business at 1325 North Congress was cited for a business tax receipt and certificate of use. The business was posted on March 29, 2019, and a copy was given to the business employee. Certified mail was sent March 22nd, 2019. Certified mail was signed for April 8th, 2019. I've had no contact with the business owner. They own office space above, it's a bank. They own office space above that they are currently leasing out. Their current business tax receipt does not reflect any leasing of property. As of this morning, their business tax has not been updated to reflect leasing of property. So city's recommending 10 days to come into compliance or a one-time fine of $250.
So let me see if I understand this correctly. Is the issue with the property owner is leasing out a portion of their property and they haven't added that to their business receipt, that they're in the property business essentially?
Correct.
Okay. Have you had contact with them and discussed this with them?
No, sir. No contact whatsoever.
And the remedy you're seeking, I'm sorry?
They need to update their business tax receipt to reflect the leasing of the units to come into compliance.
Within 30 days? Would that be reasonable?
10 is more than necessary.
And
They
then-
just need to add the category and pay for it.
One time 250.
All right, in case CE 1903092, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of 2232A and 82144, or the respondent to update their business tax receipt within 10 days or a one-time fine of $250.
Number 29, 1325 North Congress Ave, number 201, CE 190309293.
Good morning. City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On March 21st, the property at 1325 North Congress, Unit 201, was cited for external doors and windows, repair of windows to make weather tight, and unsanitary conditions, remove all standing moisture within carpeting of this unit. Property was posted March 29th, 2019. Certified mail was sent March 22nd, 2019. Certified mail was signed for April 8th, 2019. I have no contact with the property owner. As of yesterday, I have no evidence of any repairs to the window conducted. I had contact with the tenant. He has also reinforced that no repairs have been conducted on the property. Taking that into consideration, city is recommending 30 days to come into compliance or $100 a day be assessed.
Tell me exactly what's going on here. So there's a broken window or a improperly...
Basically what it is, the window is leaking. It's, as you can see, the carpeting is being wet from the window. It seems to be either replaced or resealed. I've had no evidence that it has been either replaced or resealed because I have no contact from the property owner. But the tenant has communicated to me that they have not come in and done any repairs to those windows.
I assume this came to your attention because the tenant complained?
Yes, sir.
All right, is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? All right, in case CE 190309293, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find no sufficient found the property in violation of 18103E, 18106A, where order the respondent to bring the property in compliance within 30 days or fine of $100 per day. May I issue?
Number 30, 513 Ontario Place, CE 190303111.
Paul McFarland, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer. On March 25th, 2019, the property at 513 Ontario Place was cited for roof repair, rotten wood throughout property and on structure, tree trimming standards, trees cut improperly, hat racking, prohibited, and outdoor storage. The property has come into compliance with the outdoor storage. Property was posted March 26th. Certified mail was sent March 26th. Notice was signed for on March 28th. I've had no contact with the property owner. City's recommending 30 days to come into compliance with the rotten wood throughout the property, or a $100 a day fine. And for the hat racking and tree trimming standards, city's recommending 60 days to replace said trees, or a $200 a day fine be assessed.
Is it that one tree, or is it?
No, it's like 3 or 4. It's 3 trees. And as you can see, the rotten wood still remains. They're making efforts to clean it up, but it's not being done properly or in a timely fashion.
What about the outdoor storage?
The outdoor storage has been removed, so that's in compliance.
So we're just talking about the rotten wood and the
And the trees.
The trees, and there's 3. I guess those are the 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yes, that's one of them. And there's 2 more there.
Okay. All right. Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? All right, case CE 190303111, I make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice sufficient, I found the property in violation of 18103B. I order the respondent to come to compliance with that section within 30 days or pay a fine of $100 per day. I also find the respondent in violation of 944462B1 and 944462B3. I give the respondent 60 days to come into compliance with those, or a fine in the amount of $200 per day. May I issue?
Number 31, 1644 45th Street, CE 1903034.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On March 28th, the property at 1644 45th Street was cited for landscape maintenance, sod required, and unpaved parking. Property was posted April 2nd, 2019. Certified mail was sent March 29th, 2019. Certified mail was signed for March 30th, 2019. I have received no contact with the property owner. As of yesterday, the property has come into compliance with the unpaved parking, but the sod still has not been addressed. So city is recommending 30 days to address the sod, or a $100 a day fine be assessed.
So basically, the cars were parking on the grass. They've moved the cars, but the destruction caused by parking on the grass is still there.
Yes.
All right. Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? In case CE 1903034, make the following findings of fact and law. I find no sufficient for the property in violation of 18106K. Respondent has 30 days to bring the property in compliance, or fine of $100 per day. May I issue?
Number 32, 1645 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, number 1200 Christopher Jacob, CE 190400026.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On April 1st, the business at 1645 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, Suite 1200, was cited for a business tax receipt and certificate of use. The business was hand-delivered notice on April 2nd. Certified mail went out on April 2nd. Certified mail was signed for April 4th. I've had no contact with the business owner. This is a business tax renewal, so taking that into consideration, city is recommending 10 days to come into compliance, or a one-time fine of $250.
You determined the business is still operating on that property?
Yes, I actually was back at that location on Tuesday, and I asked if the said business owner had received the notice, and she did say yes, it was given, but no action has been taken.
All right, in case CE 190400026, make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of 82144 and 2232A, respond has 10 days to bring the property in compliance or pay a one-time fine of $250.
33-2112 Ware Drive, CE 190400249.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On April 1st, the property at 2112 Ware Drive was cited for landscape maintenance, repair of sod, unpaved parking, inoperative vehicle, and outdoor storage. Property was posted April 12th, 2019. Certified mail was sent April 12th, 2019. Certified mail was returned April 15th. I've had no contact with the property owner. As of yesterday, the inoperative vehicle has been removed. The unpaved parking has been addressed, but the landscape still in disrepair, and outdoor storage still remains. Taking that into consideration, the city is recommending 30 days to come into compliance or $100 a day be assessed.
Where's this tire?
Oh, the tire's gone, but there's other outdoor storage out there now.
Oh, is it that the box?
Yeah, crate.
The crate?
And the sod has not been addressed either.
All right, is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? All right, case CE 190400249, I make the following findings of fact. Law and fact, I find the property in violation of 18106K and 9471C. Respondent has 30 days to bring the property in compliance or fine of $100 per day. May issue.
Thank you.
Okay, on to the 11:30 agenda. Number 1720 South Sapadil Avenue, number 502, CE 151000458. Number 1720 South Sapadil Avenue, number 502.
Go ahead.
Good morning, Mitch Posner, Code Enforcement. Case ending in 458, 720 South Sapodee Avenue, number 502. Date order 1/6 of 16, fine started 2/9 of 16, ran for 960 days. Total $96,000, daily fine was 100. Date of compliance 9/26 of 18. Same owner, the case was for no rental license. The only mitigating factor was they didn't receive notice, but it was sent properly to the address listed with Papa at the time. Normally we'd ask for 30% on this, but given the size of the lien, we're asking for 15%.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Jack Owen, attorney for the property owner.
I'm sorry, Jack.
Owen, O-W-E-N.
Mr. Owen, is that your client?
This is another authorized agent, Lori Vinci. Paperwork was filed. She represents also the owners. She works for them.
She's part of property management, or?
No,
I'm their assistant.
Okay.
they run a business called Floral Emporium, and amongst other things.
All right, so why don't you tell me what you're asking for and why I should grant it to you?
The property owners never had notice of the violation. It was mailed to the property address that was being rented at the time, but I think the return mail receipts show that they were returned back undelivered. In 2018, when they were going to sell another property, a municipal lien search was done in about October 2018. And that was the first time that the property owners realized that there was any problems. They immediately contacted code enforcement and tried to getting the license in place and address any of the other situations that need to be addressed. They own a lot of properties in West City of West Palm Beach. They're residents of West Palm Beach. They've tried to be very good citizens. They have a successful business for over 20 years in West Palm Beach. And we respectfully request a reduction to administrative costs.
Well, these are sophisticated landowners. Did they not know they needed a rental license?
Apparently not.
You asked my question, sir, so I don't have any other questions.
How long did this thing go on?
960 days.
So almost 3 years, and they didn't think they needed a rental license?
They were not aware that one was required. Now, it's the first place they ever rented.
All right, well, I'll reduce it to 10%, $9,600 payable within 30 days.
Thank you.
I have an order here. Number 2703 46th Street, CE 17060421, 703 46th Street.
Case ending in 421, 703 46th Street, date ordered 8/2 of 17, fine started 8/17 of 17, 602 days, total $60,200, $100 a day, date of compliance 4/11 of 19. New owner, no mitigating factors outside the fact that it is a new owner. City's asking for standard 25%.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
My name is Nubin Mathai, owner of the LLC. The property, the violations were due to the fire damage from the previous owner. It was no longer habitable, so they moved out. I have before pictures, after pictures. We bought it, spent about $144,000 on it. With the purchase price, we're almost at $200,000 for a property on the tax roll. It's about $100,000. We were able to clear it up, get rid of the homeless people, get rid of all the drug deals. Worked with Mike Williams over there. He had an issue with all the drug dealers and activity and the prostitution, so we were able to get rid of that. The neighbors are all happy now because they don't have to deal with all the trash and everything else over there now. One thing I can add, I mean, we bought the property, we brought it up, helped the city, helped the street, trying not to pay $60,000 on a property that's not, we're way above what it's valued at.
So what are you asking me for?
Administrative costs, if you can.
Do we even know what those are?
I think it's like 300 and some odd bucks, right? I've done this a couple times.
We're working on trying to figure out an answer to that question when it comes up in here. But that's not something that the city generally asks for, just administrative costs, so.
No, that's fine. I mean, me and Mitch have worked on different properties together. I have the before pictures. I have the invoices of the what we spent. I have everything for you to look at. I mean, the property was completely
But
cooked.
what's the city's assessment of the cooperation of the owner in bringing this property from a property to a?
No argument with anything you said. The pictures currently speak for themselves. They definitely improve the property. That's not remotely in question, which is why we're asking for standard 25%, not asking for something higher.
25% is still a good chunk.
See, here's, this is the question that always occurs to me whenever I do these hearings, which is, if you're cleaning up a property, if you're buying it, you have to be aware of the liens, or you should be aware of the liens that come with the property, right? So there's sort of an expectation that you're going to buy the property with all these liens and that the city's going to remove them, and that's a risk that you take when you buy property.
I understand. It's just the renovation part. We were estimating 70,000. We're at 140. We're almost double the renovation because the amount of fire damage and beam damage, we had to pretty much gut the whole inside and redo every beam that was in there. We've doubled what we thought we would end up spending on it.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'll take into account the fact that this was a distressed piece of property, and you've done good to the city, but I'll reduce it to 10%, so that'll be $6,200 payable within 30 days.
Okay, thank you very much.
How many days? 30?
30.
Thank you. You want to submit that? Thank you.
But you should always keep in mind that when you buy the property with these kinds of things on them, you're really sort of stuck on the discretion of the magistrate.
No, I understand. We've done this before. We've taken into account. It just, this one, it cost us more in the renovation than we doubled the renovation budget. It just,
All right.
any little bit helps.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 3, 5311 Spruce Avenue, CE 180600592.
Go ahead.
Case ending in 592-5311 Spruce Avenue. Date ordered 8/1 of 18, fine started 10/1 of 18, ran for 148 days, total $29,600. Daily fine $200, compliance date was 2/26 of 19. New owner, no actual mitigating factor, city is asking for a standard 25%.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Yes, good morning, Andres Venegas.
So tell me what you're asking for and why I should grant it to you.
All right, well, we originally purchased this property when we inherited the lien. And the previous owners were they were elderly. They lived outside of state, so they couldn't really do anything with the property at the time. And everything they tried to do over the phone, the contractors just played them, so they couldn't do anything. The property had an illegal addition in the garage, which even before we purchased the property, we got everything into compliance. The inspectors, before we purchased the property, were able to stop the daily fees in the property. So we got everything into compliance, converted the garage back into garage. We even tore down a bathroom that was in the garage that was actually part of the original structure of the house. I have the green plat here that shows that bathroom was actually existing. So we ended up spending money even before we closed on the property. After we closed on the property, the same day we went and got a boarding certificate and also submitted a non-rental affidavit to Kevin Levine, because that was also part of the violation. So we got the house all boarded up. It was being vandalized by homeless people. There was prostitution going on inside and everything. So, we cleaned up the house. I don't know if there's any pictures, but as a picture show, there's some before and after pictures. We painted the house, laid down sod all over the place and everything. And at the moment, well, we're just, pretty much on your mercy. And I hope this, situation gives you an idea of the actual, thing of the house and my true intentions. And I hope to be able to obtain today a lien reduction or a waiver to satisfy the imposed fees. So I'm at your honor. I'm at your mercy, Your Honor.
What are you asking me for, sir?
Either a lien reduction or a waiver to satisfy the
Well, make me an offer. What are you asking me for?
administrative fees, which I don't know how much they are, but I don't know, 5% of the total due. I mean, we put a lot into this house, like I mentioned before, even before we purchased the house, and we did it because it was two elderly people. As a matter of fact, this was an estate sale, and one of the ladies that inherited this property actually passed away a few days after we closed. So,
you raised the same, base issue that the previous gentleman raised, which is,
yes, sir.
When you buy a property with liens on it, you have to expect that, you have some responsibility for those liens,
I
at least in your
understand.
calculation. What's the city's position on how they've done with this property since they've obtained it?
Again, pictures speak for themselves. Standards are pretty high to get to this hearing, so there is no complaints about the work they did on the property.
Yeah, no, if I could add something more, our lender is actually holding escrow right now until we fix these liens, and, until then, we're trying to get the property the best we can. We're going to start replacing windows and start working on the property and just make it appealing for the neighborhood and for, obviously, the city of West Palm Beach and everything. So, everybody that's been involved, Monique, Ray Leong, Mitch Posner, Robert Watkins and everything, they've been very helpful responding to our emails and phone calls and guiding us through the process. So I thank everyone.
Point of clarification, whose money was in escrow? The seller or the buyer?
No, I'm the buyer, but this was a hard money deal that we did, and the only way we could purchase the property was putting money into escrow account, and then after the liens were all solved and everything here with the city, then we would get refunded that escrow money to take care of the liens and everything to keep working on the property. So.
All right. I'll take into account the fact that you have restored a otherwise distressed property. I'll reduce it to $3,500 payable within 30 days.
Thank you.
Number 34, 944 38th Street, CE 190303773.
Good morning. I'm Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. 944 38th Street was cited on 3/28/19. The property and City Hall were posted on 4/5/19, and certified mail was sent on 4/1/19. The property was cited for 105.1, 18103B, and 94302-A-3. The property has since come into compliance with all code sections with the exception of 18-103B. I've had contact with the owner. The city is asking for an additional 90 days or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
So tell me what's wrong with the roof and why they should get 90 days.
It has that blue tarp on it. I've spoken to the owner. There's an issue with her insurance company. So I've also spoken to the insurance company. So that's in the works. So she needs that additional time. I know she will need permit for it as well. So that's why we're asking for 90 days.
All right, in case CE 190300373, find the property in violation of 18103B. The respondent has 90 days to bring the property in compliance or fine of $100 per day, Commissioner.
Number 35 is complied, 927 43rd Street, CE 190303776. Number 36 is complied, 932 43rd Street, CE 190300381. Number 37 is complied, 905 43rd Street, CE 190300385. Number 38, 3718 North Australian Avenue, CE 190300386.
Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. 3718 North Australian Avenue was cited on 3/28/19. The property and City Hall were posted on 4/5/19, and certified mail was sent on 4/4/19. The property was cited for failure to secure building permit, required inspection, inoperative vehicle, garbage can placement, and unpaved parking. I've had contact with the owner. The city is asking for a split order for sections 34-102B, 74-34-A1J, and 94-482-A. The city is asking for 5 days or $100 per day. For all other sections, the city is asking for an additional 60 days or $200 per day.
So we have an inoperable vehicle.
Yes. So
Garbage
the inoperable
is the
vehicle.
garbage can just visible from the road, is that it?
Yes.
And they're parking on unpaved surfaces?
Yes.
Okay. What's the structure in the back?
It's a large tiki bar. You can see it from the street, but there are no permits on file for it.
And there's no permit on file for it?
Correct.
Have you spoken with the owner about that?
I have. He doesn't intend to apply for a permit based on what the conversation that we've had. He pretty much stated that it was there when he purchased the property, and he likes it, so I don't think he plans on applying for a permit.
And he's not here to argue it, huh?
He's not. But I did make him aware that he can apply for the permit, or if he wants to remove the structure, that's another option. But based on the records in the system, there aren't any permits for that structure.
It's big. All right, in case CE 1903036, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 105.1 and 110.1. Respondent has 60 days to bring those into compliance, or a fine of $200 per day shall issue. I also find the respondent in violation of 34102B, 7434A1J, and 94482A. Respondent has 5 days to bring those into compliance, or a fine of $100 per day may issue.
Number 39, 823 38th Street, CE 190300420.
Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement, 823 38th Street was cited on 3/29/19. The property and City Hall were posted on 4/5/19, and certified mail was sent on 4/1/19. The property was cited for clean and sanitary, excessive growth, and failure to comply. I've had no contact with the owner. The city is asking for immediate abatement.
Tell me why you think it needs abatement.
Okay, so the property is a vacant unit. It was previously cited for the broken windows, and they did apply for the boarding certificate, so it's boarded. It looks as if it's still not being taken care of, so there is excessive overgrowth, and it looks like the board in the front, like maybe someone is sleeping in there. So we're asking for the city to abate it because of the condition that it's in now.
Well, you're proceeding under 18106A, which is clean and sanitary, so you're referring to sort of the outdoor conditions, that there's garbage and things outside, is that it?
So typically when we do cite for the clean and sanitary, that we typically cite with the excessive growth and the failure to comply because of the condition that it's in now. So it's
Doesn't
not
look that
really
bad
a
from
lot
the-
of trash and debris, but if you zoom in, you can see it's like minor trash and debris. It's not excessive
So why abate?
because it's not being cut. So it's been like that for at least 2 months. If you take a look at the pictures, you can see they're dated. It's been over a time period, so it's not being cut.
Yes, typically if you abate, there has to be a condition on the property that, constitutes a threat to the health, safety, and welfare of the city, something like
And
that.
I do think that constitute a life safety hazard to the community because it's not being cut.
Convince me. Convince me, what's the life, health, safety issue here?
Because it's not being cut, so, I mean, rodents can live in that grass, and the back is also overgrown, so any sort of rodents and insects can live in that grass.
So you think because it isn't being maintained, it's growing into habitat for vermin and other...
Yes.
All right, in case CE 1903042, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find the property in violation of 18106A, 18106B, and 18215B. Make further finding that because it's not being maintained, the conditions of the property are going to constitute a threat to the health, safety, and welfare of the city of West Palm Beach. I hereby order the respondent to immediately come to compliance. In the absence of compliance, I hereby authorize the city to enter the property and abate the violations. I hereby assess the cost of said abatement against property and property owner.
Yeah.
Number 40, 7501 South Dixie Highway, CE 190200019.
Did you miss a code section?
No. This is actually not quite that bad, but it did need some attention. All right, where we at? Okay, still morning. Good morning, Special Magistrate Alex Lopez of the City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. That's it. Your Honor, property located at 7501 South Dixie Highway is a commercial property that was brought to my attention from complaints by the general public regarding its concern of safety, lack of maintenance, and blightness. The violations include repair of rain gutters, exterior electrical components, and parking lot light posts. trash and vegetation debris, mildew on parking lot concrete islands, graffiti on building exterior, storing of dumpster, vegetation encroaching the public right-of-way, trash within the public right-of-way, prohibited trees and vegetation on the property, lack of landscape maintenance, parking lot repair, striping of parking stalls, fire department lane and traffic control aids, drainage repair and loading dock, and for expired building permits. Your Honor, the property was cited on February 1st, 2019, mailed first class and certified mail, was returned signed on February 11th, and the property was posted on February 12th. On February 22nd, I performed a walkthrough of the property alongside the district manager, the store manager, and their contractor. Your Honor, as of today, code sections 18, and I go down right the list, 18106J, 9434A2D, 94485F, and FBC 105.4.1.3. These code sections have complied. All other code sections remain in violation. Special Magistrate, the district manager was unable to attend today's hearing, but has requested a 6-month extension to which the city does not object, or be subject to a daily fine of $100 per day thereafter, to which has been agreed upon. I'd also like to note for the record that there has been constant communication with the representatives of the property, and there has been continuing activity on the property, which is reflected in the case file.
So you think 6 months is warranted in this case?
Yes, sir.
All right, CE 1902019, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of the listed code sections with the exception of 18106J, 7434A2D, 9445E, and FPC 105.4.1.3. Responded as 180 days? That's 6 months? 30.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
180 days to
Yes.
bring the property in compliance, or a fine of $100 per day may issue.
Number 41, 1016 Forest Court, CE 190303331.
Alex Lopez with the City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Property located at 1016 Forest Court is a residential property that was cited for damaged windows, trash and debris, dirty sidewalk, walkway and driveway, dirty exterior walls, landscape maintenance, junk vehicle, garbage can placement, vegetation encroaching into the public right-of-way, and parking on the grass. Special Magistrate, to date, all code sections remain in violation with the exception of 7434A1J, which has complied. This property was cited on March 26, 2019, mailed first class and certified mail was returned signed on March 29th, and the property was posted on April 8th. I also have been in contact with the property owner, who is limited with health and finances and was unable to attend today's hearing, but has agreed to the city's recommendation of a 60-day extension or be subject to a $25 a day fine thereafter. I'd also like to note that I have provided the property owner with options and resources to assist her in correcting some of these violations.
All right, in case CE 190303331, based on the agreement of the parties, I hereby make the following findings of fact and law. I find the property in violation of 18103E, 18106A, 18106G, 18106K, 34102A, 744C4, and 94482A. Respondent has 60 days to bring the property in compliance or fine in the amount of $25 per day may issue.
Number 42, 6718 Forest Court, CE 190303358.
Alex Lopez with the City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Property located at 6718 Forest Court is a residential property that was cited for trash, vegetation debris, dead vegetation, landscape overgrowth, and failure to comply. Special Magistrate, to date, all code sections remain in violation. However, I like to note that I have been in contact with the property owner's granddaughter, who is assisting with the correction of the violations. This property was cited on March 27th, 2019, mailed first class and certified mail was returned signed on March 29th, and the property was posted on April 8th. Your Honor, the property owner, who is limited with health and finances as well, was unable to attend today's hearing but has agreed to the city's recommendation of a 35-day extension or be subject to a $25 a day fine thereafter. I'd also like to note that I have provided the property owner's granddaughter with options and resources to better assist them as they are continually helping to correct all the violations.
35 is an odd number of days. Why 35?
Just puts them a little over the 30, just give me a little extra cushion. They are working at it. They're almost getting there. So figure 35 sounds like a good number.
They were agreeable to 35?
Yes.
Not 36 or 34, but 35? All right, in case CE 1903038, I make the following findings of fact and law. Based on the agreement of the parties, I hereby find the respondent violation of 18106I, 18106K, and 18215B. Respondent has 35 days to bring the property in compliance or fine of up to $25 per day. May I issue?
Number 43, 6718 Forest Court, CE 1903039.
Alex Lopez with the City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Property located at 6718 Forest Court is the same property as a previous case heard, and this time it was cited for rotted wood on the house exterior, painting of the structure, boarded windows, and for expired permits. Special Magistrate, to date, all code sections remain in violation. The property was cited on March 27th, 2019, mailed first class, and certified mail was returned signed on March 29th, and the property was posted on April 8th. Your Honor, just as the previous, the property owner, who is limited with health and finances, was unable to attend today's hearing, but has agreed to the city's recommendation of a 120-day extension or be subject to a $25 a day fine thereafter. And again, the property owner's granddaughter is also assisting with this violation.
So 120 days and $25 was the agreement of the parties?
That is correct.
All right, in case CE 1903039, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find the property in violation of 18103B, 18106G, 18265, and FBC 105.4.1.3. Based on the agreement of parties, I hereby grant the respondent 120 days to bring the property into compliance or a fine of $25 per day. May I issue?
Number 44, 435 Barnett Street, CE 1903037.
Which property address is this again?
435 Barnett
okay.
Street.
Alex Lopez with the City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Property located at 435 Barnett Street is a residential rental property that was brought to my attention by its neighboring properties for its poor condition. It was cited for having a concrete pad within the swale without a valid permit, landscape overgrowth and lack of landscape maintenance, missing and dead grass within the yard and swale, junk vehicle, garbage can placement, parking on the grass, screening of restricted vehicle, and outdoor storage. Special Magistrate, to date, code sections 34102A, 94482A, and 9471C have complied. All other code sections remain in violation. This property was cited on March 28th, 2019. Mailed first class and certified mail was returned signed on April 1st, and the property was also posted on April 8th. I have spoken with the property owner over the phone during the course of the case, who has been having some of the violations corrected. Your Honor, due to a medical appointment, the property owner informed me that he would not be able to attend today's hearing, but has agreed to the city recommendation of, once again, 35 days, or be subject to a $50 a day fine thereafter.
You're going to start a new trend with this 35 days. So they were in agreement that these things needed to be fixed and they were going to do them within 35 days?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right, in case CE 1903037, I make the following findings of fact and life on notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of 105.1, 18106K, 18106L, 7434A1J, 97894C, and 94487B4A. Respondent has 35 days to bring the property into compliance or a fine of $50 per day may issue.
Number 45, 420 Puritan Road, CE 190303882.
Alex Lopez with the City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Property located at 420 Puritan Road is a residential property that was brought to my attention by its neighboring properties for its ongoing violations and poor condition. The property was cited for failure to obtain permits for multiple sheds in the rear yard, trash and debris, and unsanitary conditions, dirty house exterior and painting of structure in certain areas, landscape maintenance, garbage can placement, vegetation encroaching into the public right-of-way, sheds in rear yard not within the required setback, outdoor storage, and for expired permits. Special Magistrate to date, Code Sections 74, 4C4, and FBC 105.4.1.3 have complied. All other code sections remain in violation. Your Honor, this property was cited on March 28th, 2019. Mailed first class and certified mail was not returned signed. And I also posted the property on April 8th. I have been in contact with the property owner. We have had conversations over the phone during the course of the case. Your Honor, due to work, the property owner informed me he would not be able to attend today's hearing. There has been some progress made, however, there is much more to be done. The owner did mention that he is limited on income and health, but that he will comply and that he is in agreement with the city recommendation of a 45-day extension or be subject to a $50 a day fine thereafter.
How many days?
45 days. I went 10 more.
Is that enough time to do all this?
I did ask him that. I asked him if he was okay with the 45 days, if he needed more time. He said no, 45 days, he should have it all done. He's already applied, had the expired permits renewed, started removing some of the items, so he did say that 45 days would be good.
And you were seeking $50 a day?
Yes.
All right, in case CE 1903038, I make the following findings of fact and life. I notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of 105.1, 18106A, 18106G, 18106K, 7434A1J, 94305B13, and 9471C. Respondent, based upon the agreement of the parties, has 45 days to bring the property into compliance or fine of $50 per day may issue.
Number 47 is complied, 428 Wilder Street, CE 190400087. Number 48 is complied, 126 Beverly Road, CE 190400250.
Thank you.
That's it, right?
Yes.
Seeing no further business before us, this meeting is hereby adjourned.